Check. Happy Friday, everybody. The friendliest Friday on the whole goddamn internet. It's good to be here. Good to be seen wherever you are, however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. It's a hell of a week. Hell of a week. Trump's out on a date with his boyfriend this week, which we'll check in on here. I know they've been away from each other for a while, so I assume that, at least initially there will be some fucking, and then maybe they'll get down to talking about how Trump can help Vladimir accomplish his goals. They're a real power couple. It's in Alaska, which of course is in Russia, as everybody knows. Alaska and Russia are the same place. I don't know. There's this part of me I really want Trump to pull this off. It would be awesome. It would be so cool to have something good to talk about that this guy's doing. We'll see. I don't think Putin has any plans of a ceasefire. They upped the attacks last night, the last couple of days in Ukraine. Trump says that's a negotiating tactic. I don't know. I know I'm not fluent in dictator. I'm still learning that. Good to see all you guys, though. As a reminder, we are on TikTok. But I think we made it a whole week without a TikTok ban. This may be a new record. Shout out to everybody over there on TikTok. Good to see you guys for a whole week. Make sure you're liking the stream there. See if we can get that up to 100,000 likes as quickly as possible. And then as just a reminder, our guy C-Note, who I saw yesterday. Is C-Note here? I don't know if C-Note's here, but I saw C-Note yesterday on the street. And he was selling underwear, like TikTok shop selling underwear. He just pulling his pants down. So if you want to see C-Note in his underwear, I guess make sure you're following him on TikTok. I don't know if he's here. That was wild. I was blown away. The underwear looked great, C-Note. Good for you. But in order to keep C-Note around, we do need a gift. That's how he gets paid. So make sure that if you have the ability to gift, you're doing that over on TikTok. And then everybody on YouTube and Twitch, the regular drill here. We are crowdfunded every day. Jen, good morning if you're here.
Morning, sunshine.
There it is. There's that happy, peppy voice I can count on every day.
Every day. I'm consistent that way.
Yeah, got anything to say today?
Probably.
Do you want to say it now or you want to wait? Oh, Ash Raid. Thanks everybody from the Ash Raid who's coming over here. Appreciate you guys.
No, you already covered some of it. So, no. Good to go for now.
All right. I think C-Note lives in California, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure he lives in California.
He's in SoCal, I think.
There you go. Did you see the video I'm talking about? We want to find it.
Of him selling underwear?
It's just, let me see if I can find it. I don't know. Let me look real quick. I don't remember if it was a live stream or if it was there it is. If it was a video, where is this? Yeah, I found it. Hold on one second. Let me get this over here. This is what I came across yesterday. I've been seeing C-Note stuff more and more. How do I make this? The full screen. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. How do I make this full screen? I don't want to see. Anyways, whatever.
Underwear. I get so many reviews and comments on my underwear, and I finally got boxers. Boxer briefs. Wants to feel my underwear? Anybody want to feel my underwear? C cup, D cup, depending on how big you are.
That's our HR rep over there on TikTok. The irony if this gets me banned from TikTok. That's true. I'm showing a TikTok and it'll be the TikTok HR rep grabbing his bulge. That's our guy. That's our guy. C-Note over there. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry if I shouldn't have shown. You made it public, actually. I'm not going to apologize for that, but that's our HR representative over there. on TikTok. So I do know Lisa yesterday, right at the end of the live, sent in a super chat, said Navarro made up an alter ego, Ron Vera. I had forgotten about that. That's absolutely true. But I want to make sure I got that read off. And then just a reminder to everybody, I'll read any message you send. Today is Friendly Friday, so the last hour of the show, we are going to take friendly calls, and I really look forward. I'm going to be honest, not every Friday I look forward to it in the same way, because a lot of times I'm excited about the news coming out on Friday, and I get like locked in. It's kind of a slow news day today. It seems like the whole world's just waiting on what Trump will do. So I don't have a ton today. I am gonna show two kind of longer videos today. Maybe one for sure, but I wanted to show this first because this came across my timeline this morning, and there's just sometimes when I see things and I feel like it's not fair for me to see them alone, so I'm gonna show them to you. Shout out to MAGA Cult Slayer, who has been a awesome person to deal with. Reposts a lot of really great content. If you're not following MAGA Cult Slayer on Twitter, highly recommend. I don't know where he gets all his stuff, but this was from TikTok.
We're proud to be Republicans because Republicans have good genes.
Now, first of all, none of us give a fuck about Sydney Sweeney or jeans, but I don't know who that person is. That made me laugh so hard this morning. That was one of the first things I saw this morning. It was unbelievable. All right. This was a question Trump got. Trump had like every day, just an insane press conference. And he was asked yesterday about the federal officers helping DC police. And I think one of the things that has gone maybe underreported because there's so much going on is that the Trump administration has been co-opting like all these federal law enforcement agents, and they're putting them out there with ICE, meaning that all these other crimes, all these other investigations largely are being put on the back burner. Apparently, the most important thing in this country to keep us safe is going to job sites and grabbing immigrants off those job sites. And so all the other crime can wait. But he was asked about this, and because he's such a hysterical little bitch surrounded by yes men, the tighter his circle has gotten, the more insane he has gotten, especially when it comes to answering questions that he doesn't like. Like, this guy doesn't want to answer a single question he doesn't like. Caroline Levitt's doing the same thing. Anytime they're asked a question now that they don't like, they just lash out. And here's an example of that.
On DC crime, sir, on DC crime, are you concerned at all that some federal officers that are helping DC police might be being pulled away from other high priority assignments?
Like what? Like what?
Terrorism, for example.
Oh, really? Terrorism? They'll stop terrorism as...
Well, if any other president did that, you guys would lose it. Well, they're getting pulled away from investigating terrorism. Oh, really? Terrorism? Really? If anybody else said it, it would be a problem. But again, Trump's just allowed to be Trump. Like, you care more about terrorism than you do about deporting illegal immigrants?
Like
yeah,
what?
a little bit.
Terrorism, for example.
Oh, really? Terrorism? They'll stop terrorism as part of what they're doing right now. No. The soldiers that we have, first of all, we have plenty of them, long beyond what that you have here. We're just using a very small force. You know, in Washington, D.C.
Real quick, Trump, he didn't ask about soldiers. He asked about law enforcement, which would be like FBI. This guy has lost his fucking mind. I don't know why we're still pretending that he's more coherent than Joe Biden. I don't know why Republicans are doing that. This guy can't answer a question. He is almost never on topic. If we spent a whole show today and all we did is say, here's the question Trumpy Bear was asked, and here's the question Trumpy Bear answered, they wouldn't be the same question like 90% of the time. Just want to hear it again. Like, he was asked about law enforcement officials, and he brought up soldiers.
Have them long beyond what that you have here. We're just using a very small force. You know, in Washington, D.C., they have thousands of police. They have a lot of police, but the police weren't allowed to do their job. We have a lot of great ones, and you have some that weren't so good, to be honest, but they weren't allowed to do their job. But now they are allowed to do their job, and essentially it's only 2 days, but you look at the numbers already, they're dropping, and no, they're not being pulled off for anything.
Mr. President,
I don't know what numbers are dropping. I haven't seen that. Like, what are the crime rates that they're talking about dropping? It seems like if they're out there, they're making more arrests. Seems like the crime rate would increase, right? I don't know what's dropping. I've seen a lot of like curfew tickets given out. That seems like that probably went up. Have there just been less carjackings? Which would make sense, but like, if this is your solution, and I don't know if any of you Republicans have thought this through. If your solution is to put the National Guard into these cities as a way to stop crime, what do you think is going to happen when you leave? You don't think they'll just pause crime? You don't think that if like you're, you and your friends have been stealing cars and the National Guard shows up, you don't think maybe they're just like, yeah, we'll wait till they leave? The problem I have with almost all Republican policies is they are just attempted Band-Aids all the time. There's no thought ever of getting to like the core problem. You can see it with immigration. What's their plan with immigration? The plan with immigration is to arrest a bunch of people and use a show of force. And if that's your solution, using a show of force, you can never scale back that show of force. Because if that's what's keeping people from doing the behavior that you don't want, you've got to do that all the time. That's why we say, like, this looks like authoritarianism and creating a police state. Is it worth it to you guys to have, like, no privacy? To have less crime? I think it's a fair question to ask Republicans. I think it's a fair question to ask all Americans. Like, how much of your privacy, how much of your freedoms are you willing to set aside to try and shut down crime? Again, we're at historic levels of low crime in virtually like every category, except for financial crime, where we're at historic highs, and Trump is just loosening regulations there. I, for the life of me, cannot figure you Republicans out at all. I can't figure out you MAGA folks. The financial crimes, that hurts you. That hurts all of us. The petty crime, that hurts a few people, and you can do stuff to fix that. But if the idea is to get rid of this crime altogether, you have kind of two options. You can get to the root cause of it, or you can live in a constant military police state. And it seems to me that all of you guys like, oh, there was a government overreach from COVID. They locked us down. You sane people are like, lock us down, daddy. Lock us down. Spy on everything that we do. Throw the military out there in the streets. Let's have a police state everywhere we go. It's fine if that's what you want. But it falls to me. It comes off like you're either lying now or you were lying then. Or third answer, you don't really have any opinions. You just like this guy. And I'm going to get to that in a few minutes, actually, because that's what I really think it is. Dan Coe was on MSNBC. He was on with, what's the Bulwark guy's name? Tim whatever from the Bulwark. What is Tim's name? What's his last name again? Whatever Tim's name is. This pissed me off. I'm just going to be honest. This really pissed me off about Dan Coe here. These are supposed to be like the people leading the Democratic Party in a new direction. Tim Miller, thank you. Is supposed to lead the Democratic Party in a new direction. You may be pissed off with what Dan Coe says here. I'm sorry if we have any Dan Coe fans here.
Objectively speaking, America thinks Democrats are lame and we suck. Especially at messaging. 28%, right? They want to see the fight. So there's a lot of work we got to do. Some stuff is not going to be as cool. I don't know about the all caps thing, but they want to see the fight because we're terrible at messaging. Did any of you know that on January 3rd of 2024, 960 Epstein files were released with Joe Biden as president? No, because we suck at talking about it.
Why? You know what? Stop everything we're doing. You were in the Biden administration. Why?
I could go along.
Not why were you in the Biden administration? Why didn't we know?
Because I think we're always just hesitant. Oh, we want to give credit to the local electeds. We want to do this. We want to do that. And we hope that they're going to tell the story. We have to tell the story. 1.6 billion to 1.6 billion in Ohio to the Ohio-Kentucky connector, the Brent Spence Bridge. No one talks about that. Thousands of jobs, whereas Trump's building a ballroom. We guarantee that if your flight is delayed or canceled, you get a refund. Trump enacted a tax policy that allowed you to write off your private jet.
Okay, but then this isn't about Trump. It's about you. But I need you to tell me why. Is it because Democrats are so concerned or consumed with being inclusive and careful about absolutely everybody, they miss the punchline?
Because we love going out with word salads that consultants told us is what the polls say to do.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Danko. Shut the fuck up, Democrats. All of you. You suck at legislating. Nobody gives a fuck about your messaging if things get better. Right? Or if you're talking about shit that people care about. Oh, Joe Biden built a bridge. Nobody fucking cares, man. Nobody cares about that except for the local community. Nobody. You suck at legislating. You guys are like, we built a bridge. Well, we wanted health care. Well, we did build a bridge, and we released some Epstein files. Yet we still wanted health care. We wanted a more progressive tax system. We wanted school to be cheaper. We wanted to be able to negotiate better salaries. We want a better system. Well, can I offer you a bridge in Philadelphia? No, the fuck you can't. I'm so tired already of these dudes, like the bros. Bulwark can kiss my ass. I'm tired of them. They've been saying the same shit for 2 years. We're bad at messaging. Cool. What's your message? Our message is that we're bad at messaging. All right. Enjoy your L again. Just keep riding the carousel. I saw Hakeem Jeffries today get asked a question about Mom Donnie living in a rent-controlled apartment. And they're like, what do you say to the accusation that he shouldn't live in a rent-controlled apartment? He's like, well, that's a serious allegation that he's going to have to discuss. No, bitch. No. You say, I'm not worried about his rent-controlled apartment. New York doesn't care about his rent-controlled apartment. New York cares that he's running on policies that are actually creating excitement. New Yorkers are feeling like there's somebody that's going to fight for them. He's running on ideas that we haven't tried before. He's talking about like giving people public access to transit. He's talking about doing government-run grocery stores so you don't have these little food deserts in the middle of New York City. He's talking about things that resonate with people, and Hakeem Jeffries like, this is a very serious allegation. No, it's not. Okay, Mom Donnie makes $140,000 a year. His rent-controlled apartment is more than almost anybody here listening's mortgage. His rent-controlled apartment is more than my mortgage. I live in a 3,000 square foot house, and his apartment costs more than my mortgage. Okay, I don't care. Nobody cares. What the problem we have with Democrats often is that they'll get sucked into these little stupid culture wars, and then they'll stand for nothing. They'll advocate for nothing. We really should have a more nuanced. Shut the fuck up. It's not messaging. You could be a terrible messenger if your plans work or if your plans resonate with people. Donald Trump can't do sentences. Like, he cannot formulate a sentence. He's incoherent. If you read a transcript of what Donald Trump says, you won't know what the fuck he's talking about, and yet it resonates with MAGA. Why? Because he's talking about the things that get them excited. He's talking about the things that move the needle for them. And they don't even care. And most, like, we can call MAGA dumb, and I do think that the MAGA movement largely is a dumb movement, and it would be hard to have that movement on the left. But if you have people that are talking consistently about stuff that we actually care about, that's how you create a movement. But at some point, are these people ever going to like give us a message, or are they just going to keep pointing at Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and go, that bad, bad, bad? That's why I don't like Democrats. That's why I'm not a Democrat. Stand around and analyze some more shit, would you? Meanwhile, I've got to deal with now that I've got Gavin Newsom seems to be one of the few Democrats willing to fight. I got Democrats in Texas, and I've got Gavin Newsom. I didn't want to side with Gavin Newsom. I don't want Gavin Newsom as president, but what am I left with now? He's doing the things people care about. He's giving people a reason to believe that he's not all talk. Anyway, I don't know who Dan Coe thinks he is, but like, we have a messaging problem. Do we ever talk about the bridge? No, dude, because nobody's going to care about a bridge. Literally nobody. Even the people probably there in the city are like, all right, well, we got a bridge, but can we talk about something else, please? Nobody cares about a bridge. This is the Democrats. I hope that all their leadership gets blown away. They're lucky that they're running against Trump right now. They're lucky that Trump is fucking things up right now. But if we don't demand that, anybody here who is a Democrat, who plans on voting for a Democrat, you want to see a real movement. You know, all these Republicans that keep showing up to town halls and they're getting booed and they're getting yelled at, and they're being forced to answer questions that are uncomfortable. Do the same thing with the leaders running for you. Give them that same energy. So I think the main lesson I learned, I still feel bad about it to this day, but like going to that Harris rally here in Phoenix, there was like an energy, everybody was excited, and I went into it not really caring. I came out of it like, this is great, like she really is connecting with the people. And what I realized months later is it honestly wasn't Harris that connected. It wasn't Harris that brought that energy. It wasn't Walz that brought that energy, because I saw the same people cheer for Ruben Gallego, who's one of the most boring human beings on earth. What we saw in that arena in Glendale was actually just a bunch of Democrats who were starved. They were starved to see a change. And so they were ready to kind of just like go with anybody who gave them any semblance of a message. And the messaging of like, we don't want to be like Trump, we don't like Trump, we're going to fight Trump, that's a good message. Newsom has done a really good job with that. But then also providing alternatives. And I think that's where Democrats currently are really fucking struggling. And that's where Newsom's taking the lead. I don't want, like I said, I don't really want to be a Newsom person. I don't like his I don't like his proximity to corporations and his unwillingness sometimes to go after those corporations and create fair pay or fair working conditions. But that's what we've got right now. We've got I saw Beto O'Rourke out there fighting for the people. I see James Tallarico. You see Gavin Newsom. That's probably the future of the party. But I'm tired of Bulwark being out there just telling us how lame the left is all the time and not offering anything real. On Jen Psaki's program, she had on Ro Khanna the other day. I think this was on. It was this morning actually. I thought this was yesterday. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie. As soon as Congress gets back, they're going to hold this joint press conference. It's going to be September 3rd with the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. That's pretty cool. Thomas Massie it turned out to be like the hero we didn't know we were going to have this year.
Role in Congress. I mean, you and Republican Thomas Massie from Kentucky have a press conference set for September 3rd with survivors of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. First, I think this is so important. I've been honored to have some of the survivors on this show, and we'll love to have more. But also, their voices are not heard enough, and that's what this is all about. But can you share more about how many survivors of his crimes you're expecting? What are you hoping to get out of this press conference? What are you hoping people take away from it?
Well, first of all, we want to center the victims because their voices have not been heard throughout the process. First, when Jeffrey Epstein got a ridiculously lenient sentence, they were sidelined. They were sidelined when Maxwell was sentenced, and their voices need to be heard and what they want. And what they want, what we're going to hear, is for closure, the full release of the Epstein files protecting victims. There are going to be probably at least a dozen there. I can't go into details to protect their identity, and I want to give them the floor to say what they want. But Thomas Massie and I are going to speak for maybe 30 seconds. It's really about the victims. And this is not about politics. Look, people say, well, why are you bringing this up now? That's just not true. With Elijah Cummings in 2019, many Democrats called for an investigation. President Biden actually allowed for the process to play out. The two courts were ordering the release of documents. And then Donald Trump got up there and said, let's just release it all. And Pam Bondi got up there and said, well, let's release it all. And no Democrat said anything. We said, OK, let's release them all. Then Pam Bondi, the attorney general, said, there's nothing to be had here. We're stopping all processes. Let's just move on. And that's not how this country works. You can't rig rules for the rich and powerful. And this is to center victims again in this whole saga and to call for transparency.
I think it's great that you are doing that, and I would welcome any of them who want to talk more on our show.
Well, the irony here is, like, this is how divided we've become. Thomas Massey criticizes Donald Trump because and Republicans for spending like crazy, and now he's persona non grata. And now we have Ro Khanna here, who's a Democrat. Ironically, all it took for Republicans to turn on the Epstein stuff, to not care about the Epstein stuff anymore, was that people they don't like talking about it. They, ironically, like, getting everybody on board with the Epstein files and uncovering this has turned off Republicans. It really is like the MAGA wing of the Republican Party, however big that is, whatever percentage that is. It's 100% a cult now. I'm not going to pretend. We should not pretend it's not. And for you that are there, like, I'm going to say it. And if you disagree with that, I would love to talk to you about it. I would love to talk to you about how it's not a cult. I don't understand how right now you guys have gone from we want these files to I don't know. If Ro Khanna's involved, we don't want to see it. You've went from release the Epstein files to why didn't somebody else do it? Why do you all want Trump to do it? Even though, like, the only Epstein files we have actually been released by Biden and then announced by Trump. Trump just, like, re-announced releasing them. This is me, guys. I released this. I don't get it. If you're not a cult, explain it to me. Explain another reason why you would change your mind on the Epstein files. Have we got anybody in there? Trump is the king of the Democrats. There it is.
We'd love to have them. Let me ask you another question about this, because you said you'll move to subpoena the Epstein birthday book when Congress comes back. It's been a long August, but the Congress is going to come back soon. That's the album, of course, of birthday messages for Jeffrey Epstein. And in 2003, that the Wall Street Journal reported includes a note from Donald Trump. That's probably why we're all talking about it. He denies it. He sued the paper over it. Now, the Epstein estate told you they'll release the album if the Oversight Committee issues a subpoena. That's what.
All right, Jim Bob, this is, we're going to have to get rid of you at some point. Jim Bob, there is no phone number to call in. You got to add Jen on Discord. Discord is an application on your phone. If you have an Apple phone, download it from the App Store. If you have a Android, I think you can get it from Google Play. I don't even know where you get apps on Androids. I honestly know. Is it still Google Play? You download it on your fucking phone. And then see that name up there that says JenDub1? You're going to add her on Discord. And that's how you can join. Now, Jim Bob, if you ask to talk to me one more time, you have to go. The only thing you're able to ask anymore, Jim Bob, is how do I get on Discord? And if you show up another day and ask to talk to me, you got to go. Because look, we do have standards here. You can't, we expect everybody that's here to get a little better every day. And if you're regressing, Jim Bob, then you don't need to be here. This isn't a place for you. We're going to use too many big words for you. So Jim Bob, if you want to talk to me or any other Republicans out there that want to talk to me, JenDub1 on Discord. We'll bring you right in. You can have a discussion. But that's the last warning, Jim Bob. We have to, if you can't get this right, we have to assume that you're too fucking stupid to be here and you're going to have to go. I'm tired of seeing it. Johnny said end stage syphilis. I think that's what it's talking about Trump. I've seen that rumor many, many times. I don't know. I think that's wishful. Tony said the numbers are the numbers. We already know. He's going to take credit for the falling stats. 100%. Oh, on crime, yeah. Malcolm said division. You mean suburbs? What that means, division? You mean suburbs? I'm not sure. All right.
What I understand is the latest here. Are you working on building support for that during this recess? Is that something we could hear a development on in September when Congress comes back?
Yes, we are working to develop support for it. I expect that we will.
Ban Jim Bob, Jim 2498. Sorry, dude, you can't call my bluff on it. You can't say that I won't do it. We have to do it now. Sorry, Jim.
Pass the subpoena. The Oversight Committee, as you know, already voted, thanks to Representative Summer Lee's excellent work.
Oh, is that a different Jim? Sorry. Don't ban that Jim yet. Jim Bob.
To subpoena the Epstein files themselves. The problem there is that it's Trump's Justice Department that needs to comply, and it's Trump's Justice Department that prosecutes whether that compliance will happen or not. So that's going to be a long fight. But the same people who wanted the Epstein files should vote now to be able to get the files from the Epstein estate. And the good news here is they're saying they will comply with the subpoena. Not only can we get the infamous birthday book, we should also be able to get some of the financial records of who funded Epstein, where his money came from. And I'm pretty confident that we're going to get that vote early in September.
We'll be watching for that.
I wonder for some of your like, why are you guys cool with this? So we're going to get the Epstein files because it's been like it's going to come to Congress. Congress is going to subpoena the Epstein files. We're going to get a lot of the stuff from at least the estate. How much longer are you guys willing to be cool with Donald Trump refusing to release these files? How much longer do you think? How many more months are you guys cool with this? Weeks, months, days? I just saw another Republican Trump supporter got elected official, just got caught with sending pictures to children. That's number I think 77 now in the last 2 years. If you are a Trump supporter, you have to overlook child sex abuse. You have to pretend it doesn't exist. You can't be somebody who is like, I want to protect children and be a MAGA supporter. Those days are long gone. There's too many people around Trump that are credible accusations of abusing children, and he just leaves them around, including himself. We're now at the stage of the game where you're like, you know what? I just think it's more important to get immigrants out of here than protecting children. We just got to get these immigrants out of here, so it's fine. Like if it's a whole government full of kid abusers, then we'll go for it because we just got to get rid of these immigrants. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to your guys' morals at this point. It's 100% a cult. We're going to talk about that right now. I'm going to skip down to it's a cult. This is Jane Converse, and I think this is a really good about a 5-minute video explaining kind of the anatomy of the Trump cult. Gonna play or no? We got a Twitter crash again, or is that my internet? What's going on here? Of course, it's not going to play. Trying a different browser. See if it'll work in this browser. What in the world? I swear to God, Twitter knows what I'm going to play. They'll play me anything but this. Huh. Well. Not great. Let me get rid of cookies.
You're in luck because you have someone who's going to be wants to join to have a chat with you.
Oh, good.
So.
About time. All right, let's see if I can get this video to play. Are they close? Okay, there's the video.
Yeah, they're almost.
We'll save that for after. It looks like it's going to play now. While Jen's pulling that up, guys, if we do wind up in a long debate, if this is like anybody else, I'm guessing they're going to come on and scream about conspiracy theories. But if it's not, just make sure, remember, it is Friendly Friday. We start Friendly Friday the last hour of the show. But Jen doesn't let me do it until we hit the gift goal. So make sure that we do that while we're debating. I'll do my best to try and read them during the debate. Jen, if you want to jump in, Jen, and just remind me to read comments.
Yep. So it looks like they're there waiting for you.
All right. Who is it?
He's Mike something on YouTube.
Okay. Up in there. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
No, not too bad.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If Harris was so great of a presidential candidate in 2024, why did not one Democrat support her in 2020?
I don't think she was that great.
I don't either. I think it's sad that Democrats allowed themselves to be gaslit over somebody they did not care about or acknowledge 4 years prior.
I don't think we were gaslit.
I do think you were gaslit.
How do you think we were gaslit?
In 2024, everyone's talking about how great the prosecutor from California was going to be as a president, but not one person was saying that when she ran in the DNC primaries in 2020.
How's that being gaslit?
Yeah, it is.
How's that gaslighting?
Well, okay, for example, in 2016, everyone said, you're not seriously going to vote for Trump, and we did anyways. How come Democrats can't make up their own minds?
The question I asked you was, how is that gaslighting?
Because you're not thinking for yourselves. You letting somebody tell you what to think.
That's not what gaslighting is.
Yeah, it is. What is gaslighting to you then?
It's like it's where people make you like doubt yourself or your own sanity or your own perceptions, where they tell you like your perceptions are incorrect and they manipulate your thoughts so that you start thinking that you're crazy.
So you don't think that voting for and supporting a candidate that you was unsure about or did not believe in is not gaslighting?
No.
Yeah. Well, that's a difference in opinions then, because I do think so.
Yeah, but you're not a Democrat and you don't know what it's like to be a Democrat. You didn't vote for Harris. So it seems like you're speaking. I know you guys all did. It seems like you guys are. It seems like you're speaking from experience you didn't have. In fact, what you're doing is gaslighting right now. We're saying we're not being gaslit. Ironically, you're doing the gaslighting right now. You're like, no, you were gaslit. Trust me, I know better than you. You want to talk about being gaslit? Let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about how was Trump's performance in the Republican debates? How do you feel he did in those debates?
Perfectly fine.
What was your favorite debate moment?
When he said that Biden doesn't even know where the hell he was.
Yeah, Trump didn't engage. He didn't go to a single Republican debate. So what the fuck are you talking about?
What debate did he have to? He was.
Well, I asked you what he thought of
for re-election.
Yeah, and Nikki Haley ran, and Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Chris Christie. They were all up on this. They were all up there debating. Why didn't Trump show up? Why didn't they? Excuse me. Trump wasn't running he wasn't running for re-election, dipshit. Joe Biden was the president. He wasn't running for re-election. Joe Biden was the president. Joe Biden was the president. He wasn't running for re-election, was he?
This is the problem with the Democratic
Party.
Are
you gonna engage in this conversation, or are you just gonna be hysterical? Do you want to engage in this conversation? I want to know why. No, because you said
pointing out something that's real.
You didn't point out something's real. You just told me that Trump did a good job in the debates. You even pointed to a moment. Excuse me. You even pointed to a moment that you said he did well. He didn't even do that. You're just lying. This thing that you're talking about, that you're bragging about, didn't happen because he didn't debate.
Listen how pissed you are, dude. Jesus, calm down.
Do you want to address what I said, or are you just going to be a little bitch?
I'm a Democrat. I voted for Kamala Harris because I don't believe in her. Jesus, what a joke.
Brother, you're an adult.
This is what is wrong with the Democrat Party.
You're an adult.
You guys can
keep going.
Your own mind.
Yeah, keep going.
You turn on MSNBC, you turn on ABC, you turn on The View, and you do whatever they say.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
This is what you came. This is honestly what you came up for this.
So who'd you support in 2024 then? Obviously, it wasn't Harris.
What?
Who did you support for in 2020?
You said 2024 or 2024? That was Harris.
2024.
Harris.
2020. I liked Tulsi Gabbard in 2020. I would have voted for her.
I actually liked Tulsi at first until she started lying, and then I kind of fell off there.
Did she lie, or was you told that she was lying?
She lied a lot, brother. She lied a lot.
See, there you go. See, there you go. My point exactly.
What?
You voted for Biden because that's what you were told to do. You voted for Kamala
I didn't
Harris 'cause
vote.
that
I
was who
didn't.
was
I
told to
didn't
do it.
vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
And you voted for Trump?
No, I voted for
You
Gary.
voted in.
I voted for Gary Johnson. No, that was 2016. 2020, I voted. Who was the libertarian candidate? Was it Gary Johnson?
Oh, see, so you are actually a libertarian talking about Democrat problems.
No, brother, I'm not. I'm not anything. I vote for whatever candidate I think is best. I'm actually technically I'm a registered Republican. Do you see that, brother? Can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
You'll give me an honest answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Why won't you talk to me like just like a normal person? Why do you have to make all these assumptions about who I voted for and why I voted? Why not just ask me?
I did ask you.
Okay, and I'm giving you answers, and you're telling me that I didn't do that.
I didn't say you did not vote for Gary Johnson. I take you where at your
You
word.
said I voted for Biden.
Yeah, and then you said no. I voted for Gary Johnson.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't.
took
I don't
you
think it
for
was.
your word.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was Gary Johnson actually in 2020. It was who was the libertarian candidate in
Well,
2020.
whoever you voted for and whoever you chose to support, that's your choice.
Yeah, but do you
I
ever?
don't
Do you
fault
ever?
you for any of that.
Yeah, but like, there's a reason I voted. There's a reason that I voted for those people, and you reducing it to I voted for them because I was told to is silly. If you know anything about my show, like. I don't. I'm not like a mainstream media guy. I opened the show criticizing Democrats today. That was like the first video I showed was me mocking Democrats for just being generic as hell. I can't stand the fucking Democrats. I really can't. But I can't stand them because I think that they don't do anything, that it's all lip service. I don't like Trump because he's obviously like a dictator. He's obviously a fascist.
What has Trump done that makes him a dictator recently?
Just barely when he took the military and sent them into D.C.
Do you remember in 2023 when Joe Biden did similar to California because Chinese President Xi was coming? And
What?
he used beautification as an excuse to relocate homeless people?
Joe Biden moved homeless people using the National Guard.
2023.
I think that
2023. Look it up.
I don't think that was Biden that did that. I think that was Newsom, right? Because Newsom's
Kamala Harris auto-penning something.
it was probably the vice president. See, brother, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I get frustrated. Like, you can't have a real conversation. Like you can't have a real conversation with any substance. The problem with this country is that it's filled with people who are so unserious about actually discussing what's going on. You came up here because you wanted to have a gotcha moment with me, and I'm desperately trying to have a conversation with you. It's almost fucking impossible.
Okay, look, I can't take you seriously when you mention the DC and the California thing with the military police when I watch a Democrat president do the same thing.
But that didn't happen.
Yes, it did.
No.
Look it up.
Okay,
CNN
2023.
reported on it in 2023. Yes, it did.
I'm looking it up, bud. 2020. What do you want me to Google?
Google CNN Biden President Z. That just spelled XI.
Thank you.
Beautification.
All right. And this was where? In San Francisco?
Yeah. He had homeless people relocated, graffiti cleaned up, trash off the streets because Chinese president was coming into town.
I know. All right, so let me read this for you. I can put it up on the screen. I know you probably can't see it because we're live. But San Francisco has undertaken a significant effort to glam up streets ahead of a vital U.S.-China summit next week. I know folks are saying, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming to town. That's true because it's true, but it's also true for months and months before APEC. We've been... Is that playing an ad?
Offering. From in-depth stories to
The
stocks
hell?
on the move.
Sorry, it's playing a video. We've been having conversations with California Governor Gavin Newsom said Friday at the unveiling of a new program to plant trees in urban neighborhoods. San Francisco Mayor London Breed said the conference could help the city with an anticipated $53 million. I mean, this is Fox News. This emails obtained by the San Francisco Chronicle show that the city's superintendent, Christopher McDaniels, was concerned about historical encampments. I don't see anything here that links Joe Biden.
Yeah, is there a way I can send you the link?
Sure. Yeah, you can send it. You message Jen, right? Send it to her. I can pull it up. Joe Jorgensen. Thanks, Robin. That's who it was. Joe Jorgensen. You have it, Jen?
You can just drop the link in this chat here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can just drop it in this chat. Forgot. Do we have it? Mike? Mike, your microphone's muted. I don't know if you muted it.
Sorry about that. I'm at work.
You're good. Do you want to drop the link in the chat? Okay, but wait, hold on. Even if Joe Biden did do this, do you think that that means that Donald Trump should be activating our military and putting them on the streets?
I think something needs to be done. If something can't be done, what else is there to do?
Well, my question is this. So crime rates in D.C. have been dropping for decades.
Right, because stores are, I'm sorry, I can't say it because you want me to be serious. I was going to say stores closing due to high rates of theft will drop crime rate pretty much.
So you're saying that the reason the crime rate is down is because all the stores have closed?
Who are people stealing from?
You understand that's a pretty unserious conversation we're having here right now, right? Do you have any facts? Do you have any how would I even fact check that?
You need to fact check the fact that people are constantly getting busted for stealing things from stores like Walmart and Target, and they are closing down.
Now, do you see how you just changed your argument in the middle of this argument? Because your argument was that crime rate was going down in DC because all the stores closed. And then I said, where would I find data on that? And you said, you want data on that people steal? No, I know people steal. People have, my whole life, people have stolen, real quick, my whole life, people have stolen from stores. We seem incapable as a country. We seem
areas dealing with high rates of theft are starting to close down because they're losing too much money.
I know that there were stories about that came out during the pandemic, specifically from CVS and Walmart. And then when we looked into those studies, they were not true. They were talking. Excuse me. They were talking about increased like retail theft, and then on their own earnings calls, they admitted that that wasn't true. It seems like you are almost entirely informed by just stuff you've heard.
Well, I hear something is happening. I look at both sides and see what they say. And in between what both sides says, I kind of figure out one similar story.
Why don't you just look at the data instead of trying to figure out who's telling the truth?
What data are you pointing to?
So, well, if we wanted to look at, like, my claim was that crime rate had been dropping, we would look at the crime rate in DC, right? And then if you were going to make the claim that the reason crime rate was dropping in DC is because all the stores were closing, then you would look at store closures in DC and you would see, like, is what I'm saying true, or is it just something I've heard that I think like resonates with me? And I'm going to guess, sir, that you probably haven't looked to see if that's true, if stores are closing and that's causing the crime rate to drop, right?
Is it a direct correlation? No, it's just a stupid joke.
But it seems like all of your it seems like all of your opinions, once I push back, you just say that they're jokes.
Well, if you remember about 5 seconds ago, I stopped myself mid-sentence and said, I can't say that because I need to take this conversation seriously.
Why don't you just take the conversation? Okay, fair enough. So let's take this conversation seriously. Why are we, like, if you look at crime rates, any sort of crime rates, specifically violent crime, we are at historic lows in this country. Why do you think it is that this administration constantly talks about crime when we're at historic lows?
Because we was at historic highs 4 years ago?
We weren't.
Yeah, we were.
We weren't. By no measure were we at historic highs. Would you be surprised to, like, if you look right now, if you go look at violent crime in the United States, if you pull this up on Google, you will see that violent crime has been dropping since like the early 90s.
Right, because these Democrat-led cities are realizing they made mistakes, and now they're telling police to start arresting people. Hence why places like California have made this common, simple, petty theft a felony.
So let's just say let's just say that that's true. So why are we putting the military on the street now? If we're at historic lows for crime, why are we using the military on the streets? Which by the way is unconstitutional, right?
Personally, I wish that there was the people in place that are supposed to deal with these problems actually did their jobs.
Okay, but the question I'm asking, because now we're talking about support for Donald Trump. My biggest problem with Donald Trump, to be honest, because I think anybody, no matter who they are, anybody that has anybody that has as much power as Donald Trump has over a party is going to fuck up a lot, because people are flawed. And if you ever find yourself in any situation relying on the opinion of one person for everything that you do, like, you're going to go in some bad directions. And that's my biggest concern with the Trump administration. It's not necessarily just him. It's that everybody does whatever he says. And he has some really bad ideas, like really historically bad ideas. And everybody's so afraid of him that we just go along with it.
So are you suggesting that it would be better to just let the problems continue to exist?
No, I think it would be better to have a more cooperative approach and a more inclusive approach and float some different ideas. But nobody ever has any other ideas. Like, Trump's idea every single time is to use force. And if you look around the world, historically, governments who use their own military against their people, one of two things happen. The people revolt, and that leader is removed, or that person becomes a dictator. So that's what happened in Russia. So it happened in North Korea. So it happened in China. That's what's happened all over the Middle East. Ultimately, what happens is people can choose whether to have one leader do everything, and then you wind up in a dictatorship, or they revolt and they turn on that leader. And we're kind of at that state. I think we all feel this right now. I think one of the hard parts about living in America is we all feel a lot of anger towards each other. But the real anger is, it's this split between a lot of people don't want to do exactly what Trump says, and a lot of people do want to do exactly what Trump says. And when you're on the other end and you don't side with Trump, you recognize that, like, there's no end to, like, how much he will go after people who disagree with him. So even for me, like, on a small level, if Trump gets his way, he's going to smash through the media, and then he'll get to podcasters, and then he'll get somewhere down the line, way down the line. It's me. I don't like looking at a country where, like, the media and the voice of opposition is being silenced. This has never happened before in our country, ever.
Yeah, it did. It happened for 2020 and 2024.
Who was
There were shadow bans on anybody
who
was considered a right-wing
Who?
posting.
I think you meant 2020, maybe.
It happened on so many people.
Brother,
Because it's so easy just to say that's misinformation.
The thing is, and this is, again, like, if you look at Twitter, and you go to any left-leaning content creator on Twitter, and you can go look at their engagement, like, in 2023 and 2024, and you'll see that leading up to the election, it was left-wing voices that were silenced. It was their voices that were throttled. You saw spectacular growth from right-wingers on Twitter. And the dissenting voices were muted. Yeah, because Elon Musk bought Twitter and then turned it into a right-wing echo chamber, and he silenced left-wing voices.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What about Mark Zuckerberg testifying that the Biden administration pressured him to silence and censor right-wing posts?
I think that happened. I don't think
I do too.
I don't think that the government shouldn't be allowed to share information. However, I read through all of Matt Taibbi's Twitter files, all of them, and I listened to Mark Zuckerberg's testimony. And what I think, this is another place where, like, Trump himself, like, he's so, like, black and white that he forces you to take a side. And a lot of times his side is wrong, what he's saying is wrong, and then the other side's wrong. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And that's the case with the Twitter files. The reality about the Twitter files is that Facebook wanted to work with the government. So did Twitter. All of them did, because they had advertisers that wanted to be in compliance with the government. And so they were communicating back and forth about COVID. And so when the government would find posts that they viewed as fake news or, like, harmful, they would message people at Twitter and at Facebook and say, hey, like, this isn't true, or we don't believe this is true. They'd send it. And then Facebook and Twitter, it's their job to decide what to take down and what not to take down. What I see here is Twitter and Facebook being absolute fucking cowards. They chose to take that down. And they don't want to own that. This is America to a T. Corporations love blaming the government. But Twitter did that. Facebook did that. Why is the government getting all the heat? They were the cowards that chose to censor that information. They didn't have to. If you go through all the Taibbi files, only one time did the government ever instruct anybody to take down a post. Do you know what that post was that the government instructed them to take down?
What was it?
It was when Chrissy Teigen called Trump a pussy-ass bitch. That's the only instance where the government directly said, take that down.
See, you pointed out, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I heard you say the government said, we think this is misinformation on COVID and had it taken down. The fact that the government can say, I think
they didn't have it taken down.
They
didn't ever. There was not a single time that they said, take this down. None.
Well, there's a lot of missing posts that just randomly disappeared.
Facebook did that. Twitter did that, not the government. That's the difference. Like when Trump is going out silencing actual news organizations. He's booting them from the press pool. He's suing news organizations for stuff that obviously like isn't illegal. Right? Like that ABC News lawsuit is pathetic. That's the most tin pot dictatorship.
No, it's not, because
it
all
is.
news. Check this out. All news outlets, regardless of if they're left-leaning or right-leaning, are granted a margin of error. So the right-wing news media is definitely going to fluff numbers, and the left-wing media is definitely going to fluff numbers the opposite direction.
Okay, so why did Trump sue ABC then?
Because it's getting ridiculous.
No. Specifically, if you don't know, just say I don't know. It's okay. Like I do this for a living, so it's my job to know. Not everybody knows. Do you know why he sued ABC?
Because he was mad.
Do you know what he was mad about?
That they're saying mean things about him.
No, it was that they edited. So there was a promo. Kamala Harris did an interview, and they put out like the night before the interview on ABC on another program. They put out a clip saying like, "Here's what we're doing tomorrow." It was like a 1.5-minute clip, and they used her answer not out of context, but she was asked the same question basically 2 times, and they used her shorter answer in the promo clip, and then in the full clip they used her longer answer. And Trump sued ABC saying they cheated to make her look good in a promo. Do you think
not use the full context?
They did, because it's a 20-minute interview. You can't use a 20-minute interview in a 1-minute promo. Are we saying that? But just stay with me for a minute here. Do you see the issue that I would have? Like, take Trump out of it. If I were just to tell you generic, yes, and that's the problem. He silences dissenting voices.
Hear me out.
Sure.
So what about when it's on the opposite way? What if instead of it was Harris suing Fox News because of the same situation, but it involved Trump? Would you still support that, or would you be against it?
No, but let me give you an example of Harris had an opportunity to do that. So in a Fox News interview, Trump was asked if he would release the Epstein files, and he said when the Fox News interview aired, it said yes. When we got the full video from that clip, Trump goes, they say, would you release the JFK files? He says yes. Would you release I don't remember what the other one is. Maybe the moon landing. I can't remember the other one. There were 2. And he said yes. And they said the Epstein files. And he goes, yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. Like there's a lot of people. I'd have to think about that. And then he waffles on the answer. He's like, some of that stuff I would release, some of the stuff I wouldn't. But when Fox aired the interview, they cut all that out. They just had him say yes. And so Kamala Harris had by the same standard that Trump sued, she could have sued, and she didn't. And none of us did. Nobody sued them for that. This is unique. I do think we try and play whataboutism too often with Trump. He's doing stuff that no president has ever done. There's no equivalent to what he's done.
I would go as far as to say that no president has been caught doing.
No. These are lawsuits. This is public information. If a president was suing a organization, we would know about it. It would be public. Brother, you got to. This is where we have a problem in America. This is where we have a problem with Trump. This is why we're so fucking divided. Because if we pin down something that Trump or Kamala did, what you just said is, oh, well, I know that that's bad, but somebody else for sure did it, even though I have no evidence that somebody else did it.
So Nixon Watergate scandal isn't evidence that the government is corrupt. 2016 debates, Trump saying I pay zero to little
hold on.
no
I would
taxes
say
because I pay politicians to give me big
hold
tax
on.
breaks,
I would
just
say
like all the other rich people
I would
do.
say
It's
that
not true.
Watergate was a good example of the government not being corrupt. Because what happened with Watergate wasn't a government operation; it was a party operation. It was the Republican Party trying to cheat on an election. And then what happened is Nixon tried to cover up their actions. And ultimately, what brought Nixon down was government, people inside the government, the bureaucracy that you guys are trying to fire now. Ironically, the fact that Nixon didn't have a totally loyal Department of Justice like Trump is trying to form is what brought him down. Deep Throat ratted him out. And then we found out that they had recordings. So ironically, like, it was the government and the separation between the president and the Department of Justice that brought Nixon down. And you can see this administration, they are trying to eliminate any of that. Anybody who leaks something, anybody who talks bad about President Trump or disagrees with Trump is immediately thrown out. So they're creating this environment now where they're keeping secrets from you every day. Brother, they're not giving you the Epstein list. How are you not upset by that?
You cannot handle the Epstein list. Have you looked at the redacted flight logs and address book?
Wait, get out of here.
Have you been to, no, wait, answer my question. Have you been to Document Cloud? Have you seen the Epstein address book and flight logs?
I have, absolutely.
Okay,
I've covered it on this
ready
show.
For Prince Andrew of the royal family going to Epstein Island. You're ready
Hell
for
yeah.
world leaders.
Brother, do you think on the left side of the aisle we give a flying fuck about Bill Clinton or Prince Andrew? Do you think any of us care about them?
So you care only about? So you only care about if it's a Republican?
No. Wait, no.
Trouble?
Let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase it. Do you think we give a flying fuck if they get caught and go to prison? Do you think do you think we want to hide that? Do you think it's going to upset us at all if Bill Clinton? We think Bill Clinton's a creep. We think Prince Andrew's a creep. We want them prosecuted. We want to know what was said about them. Now let me ask you the question. Why don't you want to know about Trump?
Okay. Well, let me counter argument.
Wait. Please answer my question first.
If the Epstein files says Trump went to Epstein Isles and got a hand job from a little kid, like a gross sick pervert,
wait, hold on.
I would want him in prison too.
We need to correct something real quick that I think some people don't understand. Every crime that Jeffrey Epstein was and Ghislaine Maxwell were convicted of, 0 of those crimes happened on Epstein Island. Most of them happened in West Palm Beach, just outside of Mar-a-Lago. Many of them occurred in New York and some in New Mexico. But there is there's a misunderstanding of what Epstein Island is. There was abuse that happened there, but the overwhelming abuse happened inside the United States. These are people being trafficked locally from junior highs and high schools, and they were being trafficked from Mar-a-Lago. Like that's where Virginia Giuffre came from. She came from Mar-a-Lago.
What is the proof?
Trump said this the other day. Trump said that the reason that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago is because he took an employee. Trump warned him, and then he took Virginia Giuffre, and so then he said we can't be friends anymore.
That's not the way I heard it, but similar enough, close enough. I'll go with it.
All right.
What I heard was he was a member of the Mar-a-Lago, and he was starting to do what he was doing to another member's underage daughter, who went straight to Trump about it, and Trump allegedly ripped up his application, ripped up his membership, and told him to get the F out.
And Trump just forgot that whole story, and then he said live that it was about Virginia Giuffre. How come Trump's
Maybe it was Virginia Giuffre.
Is it at all like alarming to you that has been the story from Republicans for the last 7 years, but when Trump finally answered the question, he didn't say anything about that?
It's alarming that everyone's so dead set, lazy.
I want to know. No. I want to know. I want you to answer these questions because look, you're a grown up, and we're both grown ups, and we should both be able to admit that neither one of us know a goddamn thing about Trump's personal life. You don't know him. I don't know him. You should assume that every person in government could be evil, and if there's evidence that somebody is evil in government, we should follow those leads, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's stop playing the whataboutism and let's just talk about this part of it then.
Oh, don't start with the whataboutism. The left does it just as much.
Listen, brother. I'm talking about me and you. It's just us two right now. Let's you and I stop the whataboutism and let's just discuss this. Let's just talk about the facts. The facts are that Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files. Pam Bondi has confirmed this. They took like 1,000 hours worth. Trump is all over those files. Maybe it's nothing, maybe it's something. But the very fact that he's all over those files should make everybody, regardless of who you voted for, say, yeah, we need to see him. And I'm just...
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. But here's my question. If the Epstein files are released right now, today, and it says, yeah, Trump was around Epstein, he may have had women around Epstein, but Trump never did anything sexually wrong. He didn't do anything bad. Would you accept it, or would you just say, well, Trump's in power, he must have had his name taken off from the bad parts?
Well, let me say this. No matter who is in those, no matter who is listed in that list, if there's no evidence in the files that they abused a child, I'm not going to accuse that person of being guilty. I think that there's other evidence that leads me to believe that Trump is a sex pest. There's testimony saying that he abused an underage girl, but I don't think that. But I would say like this, it's not disqualifying, right? Necessarily, like if you can't prove a crime, then you can't prove a crime. And in America, you're innocent until proven guilty. I wouldn't be comfortable saying he's innocent. It wouldn't make me support him, but it would get people to stop talking about it if there was no evidence in there. And that's the real kicker here. Like, if there's no evidence, then why isn't he releasing it? This would clear his name. If the evidence shows that Bill Clinton is the bad guy and Prince Andrew's the bad guy and that he's the good guy, why wouldn't he release that? That would be unbelievable for him.
That's what I was trying to get to about the whole Prince Andrew thing. I'm not trying to like say, would you be mad if Clinton? I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying you have to understand, from what we do know, what we can easily say about the files and everything involving Epstein, it's not even it's an international thing. Like, this can change things all over this planet.
Okay, but this is the thing. So I've looked at the polling on this. 80% of Republicans want the Epstein files released. Like 90% of Democrats. The whole world wants this released. Everybody wants this released. And the only thing standing in the way of its release is Donald Trump. So how are you guys still supporting him? Why are you guys like, it's fine if you want to vote for him again. It's fine, like, if he's exonerated. I just don't get why you guys are so afraid to be like, hey, fucker, we put our name next to yours. We voted for you, dude. We had your back. We told everybody you were going to release the Epstein files. And it's just shit on your face, and you guys take it. I don't understand why you guys are so hell-bent on defending this guy when he's the only reason we don't have the Epstein files.
Look,
you're breaking up a little bit.
I want to see the files just as much as you do, okay?
Then join me, right? Like, then when somebody brings it up, don't play whataboutism. Just say, like, we could go a long way in healing the divide here.
Will you stop with the buzzwords?
It's not a buzzword. Look, I'm not saying it as a buzzword. No, I'm not saying it as a buzzword.
When
but
it's
I'm not
using
brother.
The J6
brother.
Hold on 1 second.
Brother, I'm not using it as a buzzword.
Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
Let me finish my thought, and we'll move on from the buzzword then, okay?
Go ahead.
During the J6 trials, during the J6 things, they kept accusing Trump of whataboutisms, and then turned around and said, what about when Trump said this? What about Trump said that? Then the defense was, what about when the Democrats? And no one seemed to care. They only cared one way.
Yeah, but
that's all I'm going to say. That's why I say it's a buzzword.
That's what
everybody's saying.
But that's what you're doing. I agree that that word is overused. But I'm just saying, for like in this instance, that's what you're doing. I'm just wondering why we can't get you guys to just say, like, to hold Trump's feet to the fire. If you want these files released, then demand it. But it's like it's.
You saying I don't?
I don't.
I'm not.
I don't think this conversation seems like you are. It seems like you don't want to focus on the Trump part. And the reason that we focus on Trump right now is because he's the only reason we don't have it. There's nothing anybody else can do. There's nothing Joe Biden can do. There's nothing Bill Clinton can do. There's nothing anybody can do except Joe Biden did release Epstein. Joe Biden, you just played whataboutism again. You just did it again. I'm just saying there's only one. There's only
Answer
one.
it. Don't deflect. Answer it.
What was the question
Why
again?
didn't Joe Biden do it?
Well,
Why didn't Joe Biden release the files?
So
why didn't Joe Biden release them?
I'm happy to answer it. Let me just say this. Can we both agree that neither one of us know why Joe Biden didn't release them? So we understand I'm going to take a guess here, right? Because I'm not in his head. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
But is it fair to say the same reasons could be the same reason why Trump won't?
I don't know. I also don't know why Trump's not releasing him. Again, that's why I'm saying, like, you don't know and I don't know. That's why I want to put pressure on him. So I think that Joe Biden, there's a couple of reasons that I could say, like, to me make sense. I'm open to other ideas. I think probably one of the reasons that potentially he didn't release it is because there was no pressure from Democrats. This has not been an issue for Democrats for a long time. It was not an issue for me. In fact, I didn't care that much about it until it was clear that they were hiding it. So it could be that he had no pressure. It's not like the president comes in and reads all the files when they first come in. So I think that's, if I was looking at Joe Biden in the best possible light for him, would be say, like, he just didn't know and he didn't care. I think maybe a more reasonable answer is Jeffrey Epstein is an FBI informant. He's probably a CIA informant. There's pretty credible links to Mossad saying that he would work with the Israeli government. He clearly got a sweetheart deal because he was an FBI informant. So I think that the most likely answer is that he protected those files because those files expose members of the FBI, CIA, or Mossad. I think that's the most likely reason that Joe Biden would not have released the files, because Joe Biden did release some. They were heavily redacted. Those binders that Pam Bondi gave out to the right-wing influencers, those were the files that Joe Biden declassified. They're just heavily redacted. There's almost nothing in them. They're so redacted, it's borderline unreadable. And I think you could make the same argument for Trump too, like that he is also hiding them, not to protect himself, but to protect the FBI or the CIA or Mossad. I think that argument could go both ways. Either way, I want him out. Either way, it's clear. It's never been more clear that the government was covering this up, because that's a big part of why a significant amount of people supported Trump, is because they believed he was going to break through that wall and give transparency. So it's alarming to a lot of people that he's not. And that's why Trump doesn't give a fuck what we say. But if you guys, the people who voted for him, if you pressure him to release them, you guys have the power. We don't have any power with Trump. He does not care what we say. So we need you guys on board with us so that we can get some transparency. And if it takes down the whole Democratic Party, I swear to God, I'm going to be right there with you being like, lock these fuckers up. I don't care who goes down. I don't care if the CIA goes down, FBI. I don't care if it's the entire Democratic Party. I could care less. I want everybody who's hiding this shit and protecting sex criminals in the name of intelligence. I want all of those people removed from the government.
And I can fully agree with that. My only contention right now is all I keep seeing is posts of people saying Trump this, Trump that, Trump's hiding it, Trump's protecting himself. I would agree with you. I would say it has something to do with the government. I would say somebody doesn't want them released and no one's going to be able to get them out.
Okay, but Trump is hiding it, right?
I can't answer that. Did Biden hide them? See?
Yeah. Yes. Wait, watch. Ask me if Biden hid them.
Did Biden hide them?
Yes. Is Trump hiding them?
Okay.
Is Trump hiding them?
Yes, but now,
there we go. See, there we go. So why can't we just both say that they were hiding them and pressure Trump? And the reason is, can I just tell you what I think the reason is? I think the reason that we struggle here is because people like the Republican Party, like the movement of republicanism now is just Trump. And so by you guys admitting that Trump is bad or that he did something bad, it puts you at odds with other Trump voters, because the one thing he's different at than any other president ever, he's the only president in at least my lifetime who has never said, I screwed up. I made a mistake. And you guys aren't allowed to say that he makes mistakes. You're never allowed to do that, because it puts you at odds with the rest of MAGA. You've held him on this pedestal that it doesn't even come close to fulfilling. Say like that he's like this Like, I mean, this guy has literally never admitted he's wrong, ever. It's crazy. And he's been wrong about so much.
See, and this is the problem. You keep going back to Trump. It's not to do with Trump.
He's the president, dude. He's the president, dude. He's who should be criticized right now.
Biden.
But Biden's not.
Sorry,
listen, brother. I
I
know if you didn't watch. I don't know if you didn't watch me when Biden was president. I was plenty critical of Biden, very critical, especially when it came to to Israel. I was extremely critical of Biden. I'm still critical of Biden. This is not hard for me because I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't fucking care. I would, if you put my top 10 list of like most hated politicians, it's not just Republicans. It's not. There's a lot of Democrats I can't fucking stand. I want shitty politicians out. If you're not going to tell us the truth, if you're going to gaslight us and lie to our faces, I'm not going to like you, and you got to go. And Trump's one of those people. He lies every day. Every fucking day. He still tells you that tariffs are paid by other countries. Everybody in America knows the tariffs are paid by Americans. And this guy somehow can go on TV every day as the leader of our country and lie to the American people that they aren't paying tariffs. It's crazy, dude. I don't know how to even comprehend that.
I'm not paying tariffs.
What's that?
I can honestly say that. I can honestly say I'm not paying tariffs.
No, but Americans pay tariffs. A foreign country will never.
American, I'm not paying.
No. Listen, brother. There's a difference between all Americans and Americans. If there is a tariff, it is paid by an American. It will never be paid by another country. We cannot tax other countries. This is as basic as it gets. What's that?
They've been taxing us.
No, they haven't. You can't tax other countries, bud.
You're telling me that other countries haven't had tariffs.
When other countries put tariffs on American goods, so let's say it's Ireland puts a tariff on American whiskey. If the tariff is paid, it will be paid by an Irish citizen. They will go to the dock, they will pick up the imported whiskey, and they will write a check to the Irish government. Tariffs are a tax on your own people. It's an import tax. Trump has made us all dumber. This is basic economics. But because Trump doesn't want to tell you guys that he's taxing Americans, that he's increasing taxes, he just lies to you and tells you the other country pays it, and they don't. There's no way go ahead.
So tariffs is making products at the store I could possibly buy cost more?
Yes.
And what happens if I don't buy? See, that's the problem with capitalism, and everyone's not understanding.
If you don't buy it, wait, hold on. If you don't buy it, the tariff has already been paid. So let's say that you don't want to pay those higher prices, then the company who bought that product is out the tax money that they paid. And they will probably, if that continues, they will go under.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You want to tax Americans under? Like you want to tax American businesses from into hold on, I just want to make sure. What you're saying is it sounds good to you that we tax American businesses so that they go under in order to have everything made in America?
Close, but no cigar. What I'm saying is Americans need to wake up and realize if they have an issue with the skyrocketing prices, then God forbid we stop buying. God forbid these businesses go under.
Brother, there's so many.
That's how capitalism works here. Brother, if you think a product is too overvalued, you don't buy, the company goes under.
Brother, the reason that prices are so high in some instances and so low in other instances is because of global trade. The reason we import products, there's basically two reasons to import a product. One, that product doesn't exist in America or can't be made in America or grown in America or grown in America, like bananas, right? Like you've never bought an you'll never buy an American. You'll never buy an American banana, right? We don't produce bananas here in America. Or that other countries have cheaper labor, and so we can buy it more cheaper from other countries. We're never importing stuff from other countries that is like on par with American stuff that's just more expensive, right? We do this to save money.
Funny way of saving money here.
Is it? Like you and I are both, the way that we're communicating right now is due to foreign technology that I don't know what your financial system is, but the average American would not be able to afford the technology that you and I are using right now to communicate if it was all made in America. It would be far too expensive.
You're telling me the iPhone made in China that costs $1,200 would cost $2,000 if made in America?
Probably more.
Oh, shit. That's a bold claim.
Well, you have, one, you don't have government subsidized manufacturing. So a lot of the stuff that they have created over in China, the government subsidizes. Two, you have lower wages there. Three, their automation systems are far more advanced than ours, and they have renewable energy. And like a lot of renewable energy. So their cost of production is much lower than ours. And the cost of labor is lower than ours. So when you add in like the material cost, the cost of production, the cost of labor, it's things that we get from China are going to be cheaper than they are here. Otherwise, Apple would make their stuff here. It's not like Apple has some loyalty to China. If Apple could make their product cheaper here, they would do it. They can't.
Speaking of iPhones, I remember a video I watched a guy in Shenzhen who went around factories and stores and put together a brand new iPhone 6, which was new at the time of the video, for under $200. Why are we paying $1,000 an iPhone?
Capitalism.
Then stop buying, and the company will either have to readjust their position or go under.
That's the other part with capitalism is people will pay what they pay, right? So Apple has figured out and Samsung has figured out what people will pay. Right, and a lot of that money that drives the prices up, that's due to a completely fraudulent Ponzi scheme stock market that we have going on right now, where all of these overvalued companies require return on investment to pay to their investors, and so they have to raise the price of goods so that they can pay off their investors that they don't need anyways. They don't even need these investors. All the investors do is drive up their stock price.
So you own an iPhone?
I do, yeah.
I own a $500 Google phone. Who paid less?
You paid $500 for yours?
Yeah.
You did.
See why did you buy the iPhone? Was it social status? Is it a symbol to you?
No.
Does it fit your life?
What's that?
So why pay $1,200 for something you can get for less?
I don't. It's a fair question. I'd probably just ease of use. I'm used to having an iPhone. I could probably shop a little. But I was also like I trade in my iPhone. It's like just a monthly cost that I've already built in. I mean, you're right. It doesn't make sense, but that's what we do in America, right? We pay for convenience. We pay for the newest technology. Same reason I have a PlayStation 5 and not a PlayStation 1. Could I have a PlayStation 1 and still play video games for an hour if I wanted to? Sure. But I like the PlayStation 5 better. I paid for the update. I don't know what that has to do with any of this, though. We were talking about tariffs. Can we get back to tariffs? Because
tariffs make things more expensive than Americans like you buy them.
But why does Trump lie about what tariffs are?
He's putting a tariff on imports from other countries, steel imports?
Yeah.
No.
It's when it's coming to us, it's an import, right?
It's an import to us. Okay.
It's an import tax, and it's not just steel. It's literally blanket tariffs on many countries. There's a lot of different things that he's put tariffs on. But why does he lie? Why do you think he lies and says that other countries are paying that?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think he does that?
Did you ask me a whataboutism?
No. What about
Hold on, I'm interjecting and read some comments.
Okay. Lisa, I admire your patience. Tanya said, happy Friday. This is Catfish, Not Intelligence. Thanks, Johnny. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
That's CBS. Oh, yeah, I said ABC earlier. CBS. Thanks, Tony. But I really want to nail down on this because I want you guys to be honest. I just want to know why it is that you think a president who went to Wharton School of Business is lying about who pays tariffs.
I'm not paying the tariff, so it's not.
No. Again, he says other countries pay it. Why is he lying about that?
So who is paying the tariffs then?
American
Who pays-
American importers.
Okay.
So why
then
is he lying? Why
are
is
they-
he lying about that?
Why are we importing stuff?
You're doing a whataboutism right now. I need you to answer the question. See, this is why as a this is why as a country I think we're a little bit fucked right now, because I'm asking you a very easy question. And the reason, and I think I'm going to make a guess here. I think the reason that you don't want to answer this is pride. You don't want to admit that Donald Trump does things that are wrong, and that we're so fucked as a country. We're basically North Korea if we can't start admitting that the people who lead that we voted for are wrong about something. I need you to show that you're good faith here. Why do you think Donald Trump is lying about other countries paying a tariff?
I don't think it is a lie. I think he is saying.
Okay, I need you to Google right now. I need you to go to Google right now and say who pays tariffs or do American citizens or foreign countries pay tariffs in America? I'm going to read some comments while you're looking that up real quick. So these aren't necessarily directed at you. Marty said, buddy, brain almost broke. He wanted to say, what a Joe Biden so bad. Thank you very much. Caitlin said, Dollar Train. Malcolm said, I meant class.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You got your stream to do.
I already closed to the window. I'll do it in a sec. I already closed it. So go ahead.
All right, we're good. All right. I apologize for interrupting you, though.
You're good.
Nonetheless, right? All right. So AI overview says, yes, indirectly, American citizens pay tariffs through higher consumer prices, which goes back to my question. Why are you paying $12, $15, $2,000 for a cell phone?
Well, what American cell phone could you buy?
Anything that's not $1,000.
The phone that you had was not made in America, bud.
I know this. That is a problem.
What phone is made in America?
Don't you think that's an
None.
issue?
Okay, but back to the question. Why is Donald Trump lying about who pays tariffs?
Again, American taxpayers indirectly pay tariffs, but I'm not paying any tariffs.
Why? Brother, listen. I know, like, man to man, you gotta toughen the fuck up right now. You gotta answer a question like a man. Please, for the love of God, be honest. Why
would Trump propaganda? Why would Trump
lying? He is lying. It's not true. Other countries don't pay the tariffs. Why is he saying that?
Do you not understand how this works?
Brother, brother, please don't crash out right now. Please answer the fucking question. Why is Trump saying something that isn't true? Why?
Prove it.
You just did.
No, I read that we as U.S. taxpayers pay through higher prices, which to my argument is then stop buying.
What did you Google? What was the question you Googled?
Find alternatives.
What was the question you Googled? What was the question you Googled?
I Googled exactly, do American citizens pay tariffs?
Okay. And it says, okay, so I'm going to do the AI. Do American...
It says indirectly through higher consumer prices, which I would take as companies have to pay more for the steel brought in from China, so therefore they're going to wax American people instead of paying it out of their multiple billions of dollars they are sitting on.
So let's read that. I think you're being a little dishonest right now, to be honest, because I just Googled the exact thing you Googled. And you're not reading the whole thing. So I'm going to read it and I'm going to show everybody here what it said.
Myself for Hold on a second, because I know I can send a message.
Well, I'm just going to show them what the AI overview says here when I search that. Here's the question. Do American citizens pay tariffs? No, American citizens do not directly pay tariffs. Tariffs are taxes imposed by the government on imported goods.
Yes, dude.
Right? That's what it says?
Hold on a second. I send a screenshot to the chat on Discord.
Pull that up.
You can see exactly what I'm looking at, which would be really interesting if you and I are pulling up two different answers, searching the exact same terms.
That is actually pretty wild. It is a little different, but let's look at your answer here. Hold on. But even on your answer, it says like, here's how it works. Okay. So if we go down to the next sentence after yes, American, I'll put this on the up here so people can see it. Let me see if I can move that. Well, actually it won't go. Okay. So if you go to the next part, tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods collected at the border by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, right? You see that? That's the screenshot you sent?
Yep.
Okay. So if tariffs are taxes on imported goods collected at the border by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, who is paying that tariff? Is it an American citizen or is it another country?
If it is an American citizen, it's only when you buy the product.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Brother, no, this is the importer. This is not the consumer. Okay. So let's say that you're importing chapstick. So the person that imports the chapstick, they are going to go down and pick up their order of chapstick. They're going to have 10,000 individual pieces of chapstick that they're going to sell in their store. They are going to write a check to U.S. Customs and Border for 15% tariff. Let's say it's a 15% tariff. They write a check. Then they get to decide whether or not they're going to pass that increase along to the consumer. So when I say American citizens pay tariffs, I don't mean all. I mean American citizens who import things. Is there anything in this description that would lead you to believe that a foreign country pays the tariff?
Not much. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, so why do you think Donald Trump keeps saying that other countries pay the tariff?
I don't know. To your example on chapstick, can I ask you a question?
I want you to make a guess why he's doing that. I just wanted, if you had to assume why he's lying, why is he lying about it?
Because he wants to screw over U.S. businesses, outsourcing jobs to foreign countries to pay a fraction of the cost in wages.
Maybe, or
only to jack the prices up and screw over the American consumer.
Can I float another idea and let me know what you think about this? He knows that he knows that you guys don't care when he lies.
Right.
He knows you don't care, and even if it hurts you, you don't care.
Yeah, I really don't care because you know why though?
Why?
Okay, back to your chapstick idea. The guy pays the tariff on the chapstick, and he's going to raise each tube of chapstick to say $5, right?
Okay.
I don't buy any chapstick. That man is out money.
Yep.
And that is what he deserves for screwing over the American consumer.
He wasn't screwing over the American consumer. He was selling them a.
If he's jacking his prices up artificially in the first place, then yeah. Pretty much what I'm saying is.
Wait, what?
You can go ahead and say whatever you want about me. Why can't we just dump gasoline on this fire?
What?
Why is that a bad problem?
How would you dump gasoline on this fire?
That's pretty much essentially what the tariffs are doing.
So then we have to lie to the American people and say it's not gas, it's water?
No, other way around.
So why can't we be? If that's what Trump's doing, why doesn't he just be honest about it? Why is he lying?
Do you know what the companies would do if he came out and said that?
Brother,
so you gotta understand.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so are you advocating? So are you saying that the president should lie because he doesn't? He should lie because he should worry more about the reaction?
No, he's doing it so that way it makes us angry.
Well, you're not angry. You're not angry.
You sure I'm not angry?
I don't see Republicans angry. I don't see.
I spend $700 a month to feed a family of 3, my guy.
Okay, so what's the solution?
I'm not spending these absorbent prices here.
So the solution to that is going to be what? What solution is Trump offering to you to bring that cost down?
Stop buying.
Well, you can stop buying no matter what, right? You could just stop buying. You need Trump to put tariffs on for you to stop buying?
New example.
No. We're staying here. No. We need to stay here because what you're saying right now is that you are angry, and I believe that you're angry. But again, one of the problems we have in this country is we never have this conversation. We never have this conversation of what's actually going to fix your problem. You said you pay $700 a month to feed your family, right?
Right.
Okay, so there's a couple ways. So it could
$2,500 a month.
Okay, so
that is how far I have come down and knuckled under just to defy these corporations.
Well, why? So did all your expenses go up, or you just decided you're going to stick it to these corporations?
I decide I'm going to very heavily monitor my spending. Can I ask? Can I go to the new example I would like to?
Sure.
McDonald's Big Mac, $12. Who's buying that?
I don't think a Big Mac is $12 where I live, but I don't know.
Well, anyway, would you agree that the price for a Big Mac has gone extremely high?
I have no idea. It looks like it's $5.99. Yeah, but yeah, I do think that these I do think that the price of food is going up.
And if everybody in America who likes to go to McDonald's just all of a sudden stopped, what do you think would happen?
They would probably just close a bunch of McDonald's. They'd probably first they would fire a bunch of employees. Then they would probably cut out dividends. Then they would sell off the. They would get rid of the less profitable. I mean, McDonald's doesn't really care, right? They're just picking up like most of the because it's a franchise. It's the franchise owners that are the ones that are eating it. So I think some of them would close, some wouldn't, and McDonald's would still pick up their fees.
Yeah, see, that's what we want. We want them to close their stores down.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with the tariffs. Trump, if this was true, if Trump was going after mega corporations with tariffs, the only people he's giving exceptions to are massive corporations. For example, did you know that when after Apple went to the White House and gave Trump a gold gift and promised to donate more money, that he gave them an exemption on importing their microchips? Trump's only so he's only hurting small businesses and he's giving exemptions to corporations, and you're saying that he's sticking it to corporations? Seems like he's upholding corporations.
Elon Musk tried to pull the same shit, and Trump said no.
What?
Elon Musk tried to pull the same thing, and he said no.
I don't. I do think that Donald Trump is doing things for corporations. Not all of them, but some of them. Yeah, he's cutting deals with massive corporations. He's not giving exemptions for like small and medium-sized business. Those are the businesses that are closing right now. Corporations are making record profits, and it's small businesses that are closing that can't absorb the price of tariffs.
Do you remember that falling out?
Brother, I would rather not you keep changing the subject. I would rather stay on this, please.
We are on the same subject.
We're not, because I what you're saying is because Trump didn't do something for Elon that he's not doing this. I'm not making the claim that Trump is doing this with all corporations. I'm saying he's doing it with some corporations. But even if you want to talk about Elon might not have the tax credit for electric vehicles anymore, but he certainly has benefited from multiple government contracts with his other companies. So he's still doing well with government contracts with his other companies. He basically has privatized NASA, and he gets to make all the money off of that. However, once again, Donald Trump is doing nothing for you, for your family, for the middle class. Everything Donald Trump is doing is benefiting the rich. And we can't get
not buying.
You not buying is not like, what are you not buying right now?
Anything fast food. Let's
okay,
start with that
I don't
one.
think the rich are the people that are running fast food. The richest people in this country are not the people that own fast food joints. In fact, most of those, like, by the way, if you stop, by the way, like in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, when you go, excuse me,
a CEO of a company is not rich. A CEO of a company is not rich.
Brother,
answer my question. The CEO of a company is not rich.
Brother, I said the richest people in this country are not fast food owners. I didn't say that there aren't people who are rich that own there are people that own multiple McDonald's. They're very wealthy, but the people Trump is cutting deals for are not these people. However, wherever what state do you live in?
I don't discuss my personal.
Fair enough. I'll do mine then. I'll do mine. I live in Mesa, Arizona. If I go to McDonald's, there's a McDonald's about 2 miles away from me. If I go to McDonald's and I spend money at McDonald's, that is somebody that lives here locally that owns that McDonald's. That is a small or medium-sized business. He only owns that one McDonald's. So when I choose not to buy McDonald's, yes, you might say like, oh, I'm hurting these massive corporations, but really I'm hurting that local owner.
He
right?
doesn't really own it, though.
He does. That's how McDonald's works.
No,
you
he
own
doesn't, 'cause
you
you
own
don't
a
know, and
franchise.
I only
You
say
own
this
a
because you don't
franchise,
know how
and
McDonald's does
I
its
do know. I
leasing.
do know I do know exactly how McDonald's does its
Explain
leasing.
how McDonald's leases a
So-
store to a person, to an
So where
operator.
McDonald's makes most of their money is that in many places, not all, they own the land, and McDonald's forces you to lease land that they own. They also own like the equipment companies that you have to purchase equipment for to buy a McDonald's. So there's a hefty investment that you pay to McDonald's as the franchise owner to start a McDonald's, and then you pay royalty fees to McDonald's to operate that franchise.
And you do not own it, though.
You own the franchise. You don't own
No,
the
you do not, 'cause
land.
You know why? You want to know why?
Why?
Because if you don't uphold the McDonald's great golden standards, the corporation can take it from you as an operator. That's in their contract.
Yeah, but you still
So
own
you
it.
don't own it.
Yes, you do.
You just work for
Brother,
the
brother, can
corporation.
we just admit that you said you didn't think I knew anything about how that worked, and I know exactly how it works. I looked into buying a McDonald's franchise. I looked at it, so I'm very familiar with how the franchises work. If
Yeah,
we
you
want,
don't know
but
that
this
if
is
you started
we're
selling
no, we're
fried
not
chicken
gonna we're
at
not
McDonald's, the
gonna
corporation
get
come in
into
and take it
we're
from
not
you?
gonna get into a semantic argument about like can you
That's
own a
not semantic,
McDonald's
that's just how it
franchise.
works.
But the point is that what you're talking about right now is that you're gonna boycott McDonald's. I don't fucking care. Donald Trump is doing things for massive corporations. He's doing nothing for you.
Oh, that's good for him. I don't know where this magical money is just manifesting out of thin air, though.
What?
I don't know where this money that you speak of is magically manifesting out of thin air.
What money?
How is he making the rich richer?
He cut their taxes and he gives them loopholes.
Despite the fact that he closed many of them out, like
He didn't.
what was the net operating losses, capping carry forwards and carrybacks in 2016, and extending those tax cuts currently?
That does almost nothing to hurt the richest among us.
So he cuts tax breaks while you say he gives tax breaks.
What? You mean he closed some loopholes? Yeah, he did close some loopholes. He also increased like the inheritance tax. It made that I think at like 15 million. Right? Do we need to do that? No, I think it's 25 million. Did we need to do that? Did we need to provide carve outs so that you can ride off a tanning bed or a yacht? Did we need that? What did he do for you? What did he do for the middle class?
Just pissing off people.
He just pissed off people. That's what he did for you. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look, I hope that that's as good of an explanation as anybody can. I hope that that's as good of an explanation as the rest of you guys can come up with, because this is just a dictator who has convinced a bunch of people that he's for them just because you guys all hate the same people. Like he goes after marginalized people, and you guys all kind of like that. So it doesn't matter that none of his economics make any sense.
Marginalized. Aw. Can we agree on one thing?
I don't know. It's hard to agree.
Yeah.
It's hard to agree to that when I don't know what you're going to say.
All right, never mind then.
You want me to agree on something before you say it?
No, actually, I lost my train of thought listening
Oh,
to
okay.
you.
That's all
What
right.
was you just saying just now?
I was responding to you saying, "Can we just agree on one thing?" And I said, "I don't know."
Before then.
I was talking about the fact that Donald Trump doesn't do anything for anybody but the rich, but because he goes after the same like marginalized groups, you guys all love him.
Oh, thank you. I just now remember what I was going to ask you about if we can agree on something. All right, back to the 2016 debate. When he openly said that politicians are basically bought and paid for by rich people, do you agree with me that that is an issue?
Yep.
All right then. See, we're not so bad here. All right.
If you take anybody who's in office, is who has made the most from their time in office of any politician ever?
Just presidential politician?
No, any politician. Add the Senate, the House, any of them.
I don't know. I'm just going to off the top of my head say Nancy Pelosi because of how much money she made on insider trading.
Okay, I think their net worth somewhere around like between around 100 to 300 million, something like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere around that.
If you can go back and you watch my show from yesterday, Donald Trump has made $2 billion from the presidency. See the problem that we have in America with and with you is you're actually proving my point. Donald Trump just hates the same people you hate. You don't have any real principles on this. You don't give a fuck about politicians making a bunch of money. You just like when he points at Democrats and goes, "Oh, those guys are bad." So then when he does things that are way worse, you guys don't fucking care because he already said it. It's like a carnival game. And he just tricks you. He's just literally tells you all the things he's about to do, and he points at other people, and then he does it, and then you don't care that he does it because he spent all this time getting you worked up about them. You guys, you're mad about Nancy Pelosi. This dude has made $2 billion running three Ponzi schemes. He has 3 active Ponzi schemes right now. His kids are probably going to go to jail after he dies because they are running 3 Ponzi schemes that are completely illegal, except for that Donald Trump has decided now that he's president, we don't investigate those crimes anymore. And so Donald Trump is just making billions of dollars, charging taxes to Americans in the form of tariffs. It's the biggest tax increase in my lifetime. We have never had a bigger tax increase than we have right now. Oh, and by the way, what do we get for it? More debt than ever before. We're getting $5 trillion extra. We're getting $5 trillion extra dollars in debt paid for on the backs of my children and your children. And nothing. Why? Because he hates the same people that you hate. So you don't give a fuck that he's a dipshit, that he doesn't understand economics, that he's burying our country in debt, and he's doing it on the backs of the middle class. You don't care because he just hates the same people you do.
Right, because you know why?
Yeah, right, exactly. Exactly.
Guess what?
Because you're lazy. That's why. All of you Republicans are exactly the same. You are all let me finish. Don't crash out. Let me finish and then you can respond. All of you are intellectually lazy. The fact that you are a grown fucking man coming up here, not knowing how tariffs work, not knowing that Donald Trump is making the most off the presidency. You are unfamiliar with basically anything this administration has done, and it's not because you're stupid, it's because you're fucking lazy. And all you care about is hating the same people that Donald Trump hates. And that's why debating you guys kind of sucks, is because none of you actually know anything. You just know that you like how cool it is that Donald Trump hates the same people you do.
Yeah, and I like watching them squirm. I like the fact that the Eddie Murphy rule from the 80s that bans trading on insider knowledge illegal. I like Obama's Stop Trading on Insider Knowledge Act that he signed into law to stop people in Congress from trading on insider knowledge, and yet they still do it. And it's still being talked as a problem. I love the fact that Trump is in that spot pointing this stuff out. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Grateful?
That, as you called him.
Grateful?
Shit.
You're grateful?
Because we would never have been talking about this.
We've been talking about it forever. You're out of your fucking mind. This is the thing. Like, you just say shit. I think that a lot of you specifically, you have way too much confidence for having this little of information. Way too much. You've got to read something, man. You can't come up here for an hour and not know a single solitary fucking thing and have this much confidence. Our nation is fucked because people think that because they're born in America, they just know things. But you shut the fuck up until I'm done. I haven't been cutting you off. Here comes the crash out. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking, man. I'm not interrupting you. Shut the fuck up for a second. No, I just curse a lot. I'm very calm right now. I'm just telling you to shut the fuck up for a second.
You're flipping out. Everyone here can hear you. They're
cool.
laughing at
you.
We'll
take a poll after, but can you shut the fuck up while I'm talking and then I'll finish? Is that right? And then you can go? Is that all right?
Can I finish my point? Are we going to reenact that South Park movie scene?
Are you doing this? Oh, you're doing that thing. This is the part where you're crashing out, where I just pointed out that you were stupid and didn't know anything. Here it goes. Yeah, I just don't think you know anything, man. I don't know why you're so confident in your opinions when you it's been shown this entire time you've been up here. You literally don't know how any of this shit works. You don't know how basic economics work. And that's the problem in this country is that that was the middle of my sentence. That was the middle of my sentence. You don't know how any of this works. You just like Trump because he's hateful. And that's why our country is kind of fucked right now, is because there's a lot of people like you who just don't like people like me, and you want to see us lose, and you don't care if it bankrupts the country. Just to see, you literally said, I just like to see people squirm. That's crazy, man. What kind of human being are you? You would rather the whole country burn just to watch people who disagree with you squirm?
Oh, I apologize. I ever voted for Trump.
No.
I
Don't
apologize
don't
that I
be
ever
don't
got
be a
tired of
slimy little
corporations screwing
don't
us
be
over.
don't be a slimy little bitch and not answer what I just said.
Well,
You said
that
that the reason you like Trump is because he makes people squirm. Don't run from that now. Don't be a coward.
Did I ever
Yeah,
insult you?
everybody already knows you're a dipshit, but
If I
don't be a
insulted you,
coward and a dipshit. Stand by what you
can
said.
you do this without
No,
insulting people?
stand by what you said. Stand by what you said. You only
I haven't
like
called
Trump
you a
because
man.
you only like Trump because he makes people squirm, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
I think
okay,
it's
and I
great
think
he is railing
I
again
think
about
that's really stupid.
Congress people. And I think sitting there allowing the problems to continue to go is even more stupid.
You guys are exacerbating the problems. Donald Trump isn't doing anything to fix these problems. He's making them all worse. Instead, you thought insider trading was bad. How about now all these guys have cryptocurrencies that they can pump and dump on their just on their own name. They can just scam people all day, every day, and we don't even investigate it anymore. We used to investigate pump and dumps. It used to be illegal. Now crime is legal. Ironically, as crime, violent crime is dropping all over this country, crime is skyrocketing. Financial crime is skyrocketing right now because Trump came in and he's gutting the SEC and he's gutting the FEC and he's gutting the FTC and he's gutting the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and he's getting rid of all the protections so that you don't get scammed and you're like, yeah, but at least the libs are mad. Yeah, no shit, we're mad. We're mad because we can do math and we're mad because we can read. No, I said
wasn't a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat.
You just said you was.
No, I said liberal. That's why you said liberal and you changed it to Democrat, didn't you?
I thought you wasn't a liberal.
No, I'm definitely on the liberal side. I'm on the left. I'm just not a Democrat. I don't think all Democrats are liberals or leftists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but are you going to address the fact that we pointed out that white crime is way up, financial crimes are way up? Or are you just going to backpedal again?
Are you going to agree that violent crimes are committed proportionally to race population in the United States of America?
Have a good day, man. He's fucking idiot. Yeah.
I'm a crime.
The whole time he just wanted to be racist. That's where he wanted to go the whole time. Let me read some comments. Thank you, Jen. Let me go. Zach said, dollar train towards Friendly Friday. So Jen lets people be nice to you. Ryan said, Jay, keep up the good work. Close your eyes. Brian says, close your eyes. It sounds like Dr. Phil debating. Tony said that was CBS. I got that one. Thanks, Tony. Happy Friday. This is Maddie. Izzy, thanks for joining the dollar train. Johnny said, this is a catfish of non-intelligence next. Tanya said, happy Friday. Lee said, I admire your patience. Marty said, buddy, brain almost broke. He wanted to say what a Joe Biden so bad. He's conditioned. Cutie Hanny, thank you for the donation. RC said, this is crazy. No facts, just wants to love Trump. Knows nothing about our tariffs. Zero says product price also factors wages, R&D, maintenance, logistics, and materials. It doesn't just cost $200 to make a phone. It's an excellent point. Chrissy, thank you. Said this guest has a bad case of BBS, but Biden syndrome. I haven't heard that one before. African Knight said Biden could not release all files because most were court sealed and ongoing Maxwell case. He released what he could. Congress was still needed then, like now, to release the full files. I need to look into that, African. I think that that was heavily redacted. I do think that I don't know. I'll go back and look at that. You may be right. I'll double check. And let's see. Maddie said, you are a better person than me. I could never be this patient. May you get all the green lights when you're in a hurry. 1739 says, please, everyone, never vote Republican. Flaming says, may both sides of your pillow always be cool. I could never be this patient with someone this uninformed. Yeah, it's who I'm used to. QD, thank you for the donation. Sid Life said, you are too patient, man. I'm losing brain cells. It happens.
Thanks for the sub.
Malcolm said, or I meant class is the issue. Racism is thriving. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. Bree says, towards your therapy session with me after the last guest, this session also includes coitus. Okay, bye. Thank you, Bree. Amanda says, fuck eyes, love the show. I think I got that one. And okay, I think we're up to date. All right, shit. How much time do we have before Friendly Friday? Also, Sophia said, now Trump-Putin meeting airplane landing is streamed live on YouTube. Are they actually going to show the meeting? I can't imagine they're going to show the meeting, right? We're just seeing Putin's airplane land. Let's see. Okay. It's crazy how big those jets are. Amarillo said you deserve a lot more for dealing with that last guy. I think is probably what that was supposed to say. Greg said guest is why China is winning. Guest is a pregnant dog. That's not nice. All right. Where were we? I don't think we're gonna see anything there. I'll kick that. All right.
Update the total.
Okay, I'll do that. Let me play this video. This was again before we got distracted. Did I lose my outline? I'm trying to remember her name. Jane Converse is her name. And this is just understanding the way that this operates like a cult. Like it is a cult. I know that nobody likes hearing that word. I know that people think that it's an overused word. It is an overused word, but this operates exactly like a cult. We can do this shit again. Keep breaking the internet with this video. Every time. I swear. What the fuck? Why every time does this do this? I don't know what to do about this. Fucking Twitter, man. Any ideas? Why this video will never play? It was ready to play right before we had that last guess. They don't want us to see this. It's weird.
What's her TikTok username?
Jayne Converse and then the number 3.
Okay. Say it again.
Here you can see it. Jane, Jayne, and then Converse and then the number 3. That time was closer. It's crazy. Twitter just doesn't want to be my friend today. Maybe they didn't pay their hosting bill. We may have to skip that. If you find it, here we go. I'll just move on. I want to show you Daryl Issa. This is why it's
I sent you a link to her TikTok. I won't be able
to find it because I found it on Twitter, so we won't worry about it. We can show it another time. Here's Daryl Issa though on Fox Business, and this is going to go to show like we now have this alternate reality that I don't think has existed even in the first Trump term. I don't think it existed until now, where Trump is so blatant with his lies and so anti-reality that now Fox is living in that anti-reality. Here's an example of that.
Newsom fired off a Trump-style tweet yesterday saying this: Donald Trump, the lowest polling president in recent history. This is your second to last warning. The next one is the last one. Stand down now or California will counter-strike legally to destroy your illegal crooked maps in red states. Press conference coming, hosted by America's favorite governor, Gavin Newsom. Final warning next. You won't like it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I mean, is he joking? Is this a joke?
Well, you know, the ultimate in false statement, Trump's low approval rating, it couldn't be higher.
I know.
We are at the North Korea stage. Everybody loves him. You could not have a higher approval rating. He's the most approved of president of all time. He's under 50% by every measure. He's in the mid to high 30s on average, maybe low 40s. Daryl Issa, it couldn't be higher. Dear leader has 100% approval rating.
But from a more practical standpoint, look, in some states, the voters have allowed politicians to draw their own line. In California, the voters made a decision that it was going to be done by an independent commission, and he's trying to override that so we can go back to having politicians draw lines for themselves.
This is fucking crazy. Like, they just don't live in reality. When he says The voters chose to do independent redistricting, which is what he's talking about. And he's like, Gavin Newsom's trying to override that by letting the people vote on whether or not to change the independent districting rule. This is something that the people of California are going to vote on. This isn't a thing it's not like Texas, where nobody's voting on the new map. It's just a bunch of elected leaders deciding what the people of Texas want and doing it. California is doing the exact opposite. I don't know how to really deal with this. It's like The Last Guest. Texas is doing the thing that they're accusing California of doing. California is doing what they say California should be doing. California should let the people decide. Yeah, that's why it's a ballot initiative. That's why it's going to be the people's decision whether or not they change that rule. In Texas, the people don't get to vote. It's just a bunch of politicians saying this is what we're going to do. We do like the Trump era literally is accuse everybody else of what you're doing and then suggest that they do what they are doing. California is doing this the right way, the most democratic way. I guess if you think that's not the right way, if you don't like democracy, which is essentially Republicans now, we don't do democracy anymore. We just do what Trump says. They're criticizing California for letting the people decide what to do about this.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you so much.
There's Daryl Issa, newly minted cult member. Now here's Stephen Moran. He's Trump's he just was appointed to the Federal Reserve Board, and he's one of the people that they are floating to replace Jerome Powell. Now listen to him talk about the economy.
Next, Fed Governor, what are your priorities?
Thanks, Maria. Well, as you know, at the moment, excuse me, at the moment, my priorities are continuing to help the president and the rest of his team create the best, most vibrant, most booming economy in history. And I got to say, that's all going very well. You know, the economy is just on fire. Inflation.
It is? But like not in a good way, right? On fire, like, uh-oh. That's what you mean by on fire, right? Like, every report that's coming in is worse than expected. Every one. Like it could not be better, guys. Close your eyes. Yeah, dumpster fire. Maybe it's a dumpster fire.
Is under control. The president has scored win after win after win.
So many wins.
One big beautiful bill, restructuring global trade, bringing in trillions of dollars of commitments. It's just been a tremendous string of successes, and I expect it to continue like that. However, with respect to the Fed, as you know, I do have a nomination coming in front of the Senate, so I have to let the Senate do its process, and there's limits to what I can talk about with respect to the Fed. But what they do is very important, and I'm looking forward to, if confirmed, being a part of it.
Yeah. These are sycophants that are being put in. This is a tryout. Trump's saying like, hey, if you want to be the chairman of the Federal Reserve, you've got to go. I've got to know that you're willing to go on TV and lie to the American people about how great things are going so that my numbers look better. Here's just a reminder of Jerome Powell last month. Last month, Jerome Powell got a lot of heat from MAGA. Last month, they were saying, like, Jerome Powell, you need to drop the rates. Like, look at inflation. Why are you not lowering the rates? And Jerome Powell had an excuse for it. He said, look, there's instability right now. We think inflation's on the way. If it doesn't happen, we'll lower the rates. Here's his explanation.
If you just look at the basic data and don't look at the forecast, you would say that we would have continued cutting. The difference, of course, is at this time, all forecasters are expecting pretty soon that some significant inflation will show up from tariffs. Now, and we can't just ignore that. But we're just saying let's wait and see more. That's all we're doing.
So look, this guy is accused of being a political activist, which is crazy, and that he's not lowering rates to hurt Trump. He keeps getting it right. This is why we say it's a cult. Like Jerome Powell a month ago said, look, I can't lower rates because our projections say that as these tariffs roll in, we're going to see spikes in inflation. And all the Republicans are like, no, do it now. Do it now. Do it now. You have to do it now. And he's like, I can't. If you're looking at the numbers now, I understand why you're saying that, but these tariffs are going to cause inflation, so I can't lower rates. And they're do it now. Do it now. We're going to fire you. You got to do it now. And guess what? He was right. So why as a Republican are you now going, you know what? I'm still going to stick with Trump. I still trust Trump on this. Jerome Powell was right. He is vindicated here. We should be listening to Jerome Powell more. in real time, if we're looking at economists who are getting things right, if we're projecting the impact of tariffs and somebody like Jerome Powell is getting it right and somebody like Trump is getting it wrong, why is it that Trump folks go, you know what, I'm still going to stick with Trump. I'm still in on this tariff thing. It's definitely not going to cause inflation. It is. It is causing inflation. And he's telling you it's going to. And he keeps being right. So why are you guys so dead set on being on the side of Trump? Because you, like it or not, this is a cult. It is a cult of personality. You are all tied to Trump. It's why right now, whatever MAGA's here, you guys are figuring out somewhat. There's going to be like, what about, you didn't say this about inflation under Joe Biden? Yeah, Joe Biden wasn't saying fire Jerome Powell because he won't fix my numbers. There it is. Democrats tried to kill gerrymandering across the country and all Republicans voted no. There we go. There we go. No all caps. Sorry, I thought you were MAGA when I started reading that. I thought we were going to get there. No caps, even if you're on our side, but it's true. So we're just not going to believe. We're not going to believe anybody when they get things right. That's the state of our country right now. Donald Trump has been wrong about fucking everything, and people are more loyal now than they were before, because it's almost like every time he's wrong, they're like, "Oh, that means the system's even more rigged." You've set yourself up in this position where whatever you say is right, and if it turns out not to be right, then the system is wrong, and you guys are right, and now the system is corrupt. So anything that doesn't confirm your answer is corrupt. That's who you've become. That's why it was so painful listening to that last guy. It was very confusing.
And if you will have noticed, a substantial majority of the committee has written down rate cuts in the remaining 4 years, four meetings this year. So it's just a question of being prudent and careful. But at a time when the labor market is still strong, we don't see weakness in the labor market. If we did, that would change things. You know, we're going to continue to adapt as the data adapt. But that is the difference between then and now. Then inflation was forecasted to continue to come down. Here it's forecasted to go up by all forecasters. So, and again, we're not overreacting to that. We're just saying, hey, as long as the economy's strong, we can take a little bit of a pause here. And that's what we're doing. And again, continue to adapt as the data comes in. If we see data that suggests that inflation's not going to produce big increases, you know, that would matter. And if we saw the labor market weakening, that would matter too. But we don't see those things.
It's hard. Like, we now are just in a place where you guys will only accept good news. Every one of you that ever thought like, oh, North Korea, how do they fall for this shit? We know. Hey, can somebody mute Jamie off? Dude, I've seen your comments. Don't spam comments. Can somebody mute Jamie off for like 5 minutes? I don't need the same comment. How come we had to write it out for all the Democrat presidential Republican president gets in office? Oh no, everything's an issue. Thank God you wrote that. Thank God you copy and pasted that sentence that doesn't make any fucking sense 30 times, dude. Now we got to mute you for a bit. If you're gonna copy and paste something, please make it make sense. Then I can respond to it. Now here's Trump. Here's Trump just tell you everything's perfect. Dear leader, Kim Jong Trump here. Reading this, by the way. Now Trump's just going to lie to you. And none of you are going to care because we just love Trump.
Also fighting the menace of inflation to make life more affordable for American seniors. And we've ended Biden's inflation nightmare. So we had the worst inflation in the history of our country.
Not true.
And now our inflation is down to a perfect number, a beautiful number.
Not true. It's right at the top of like ideal. So inflation needs to be between 2% and 3%. Ideally, that's what they like to keep it at. It's not at a perfect number. It's right at the top. It's right at the top of acceptable, and it's moving up.
Hardly any at all. And yet our country's taking in tens of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars, actually trillions of dollars in tariffs. You know all about it.
Trillions? Bringing in trillions of dollars in tariffs? Is that true?
It's been amazing. They say
no. So, again, just so we're clear. Lie. Lie.
Why are we taking in so much money? Last week they found $29 billion and they couldn't figure out where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf.
Check the tariff shelf. They're just bringing in pallets of cash. First of all, not a good analogy. We found $29 billion, and he said, check the shelf. No, they already found it. It's not on the shelf. There is no shelf. But this is the second time he's done this now where he's claimed that the government found all this money and they're like, we don't know where this came from. And they called him and they're like, hey, do you know where this $29 billion came from? And he's like, did you check tariffs? And they're like, oh, we didn't think about that. Let me check the tariff shelf. Ah, yeah, there it is. It was a tariff. Bro, what the fuck are we talking about here? You think these people didn't know where the money came from? And Trump's just like, did you think about tariffs? And like, oh, if that story's true, we got bigger fucking problems, because that means the people in charge don't know where money's coming from. And their only source of information is an 80-year-old dude that said, did you check the tariff shelf?
And they said, how did you know that's where it came from? We're taking in billions and even trillions of dollars in tariffs.
Why would you say billions and even trillions? Why wouldn't you just say trillions? The answer is the answer, right? You can't say billions and even trillions. It's not trillions. It is billions. And it's a tax on Americans.
Paid by other countries.
Excuse me? Where's that last dude? Where's old boy? Why does he lie about this? Why? If you're a Republican defending this at any point, like, I don't know how many more debates we have to do where we ask, like, why doesn't Trump know what a tariff is? Well, because Joe Biden. Why does he lie?
Frankly, were taking advantage of us for many, many years, and they were doing that to us, but our people didn't know it. We didn't have smart business people.
I'd be so annoyed if the leader of my party was this stupid and this much of a liar. I can't do this. I don't know. I almost have like some admiration for some of you. Like, you can just wake up every day and he lies and you're just like, nah, that's not a lie. I'll just pretend that didn't happen every day. She nailed this. I know this has been going around, but I wanted to show it anyways. Lisa Kudrow from Friends. She nailed this maggot. It's literally every debate we ever get into. Thank you, Michelle. Please do look into why Biden didn't release. That would be a great show. I'll look into that. Thank you. Valerie said so we can get to Friendly Friday. Read that one. Ash said, here is $2 beta soy boy. Swish said, grifty grift. Betsy said, well earned today. Happy Friday. Thank you, Walter. I read that one from Bree already. Did I miss any others from Jen? And Jen's got the video, and we'll watch that video and then we'll finish off. I'll update it, Jen, while the video plays. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, because you said you were going to update it when another video played earlier. And you did it. So.
Well, I didn't play the video. It never loaded, and then I forgot.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. I also just want to say, like, MAGA's coming up with the worst porn. I know that the only way that you guys can get your dicks hard is to like think about Donald Trump, but it's getting terrible. This is money. Apparently, this commercial and the equipment in this commercial cost $500,000. It's very important for taxpayer money to be spent doing this.
Ma, it's so cold, I think I'm done. All right, I look like with all them twin. Let them like how I'm coming. Yeah, I look like with all this money. I look having all these.
That's crazy. What the fuck is this? Why is this on our ice truck? First of all, why are we spending money on wrapping an ice truck? And also, play iced tea or vanilla ice, figure like you got the ice thing, use it. But why? We're such a cult. We're so North Korea.
Guys, when we do the truck, you got to put my name on it.
What are we doing? Matt, I'm not against lowering rates. I'm against lowering rates when you shouldn't lower rates. There's a reason that rates are how they are. Like, I want 0%. 1%. I don't care, whatever it is. But like, the reason we can't lower the rates is because financially we're not very stable. That's why. This is one of those things, like, I think some of you think that the economy is that simple. Like, we'll just lower rates and that'll fix it. No, it's not how it works, bud.
Came from the bottom.
All right, I want to show you that. All right, we're going to play this last video, and then it'll be Friendly Friday. I'll update the gift goal. Jen found it. Where is it? Right there.
I've been dying to dig into this. I've been asking myself for years.
Where's the full screen? All right.
I've been dying to dig into this. I've been asking myself for years why Trump's followers can't see reality. So I did my research, and I'm going to share it with you. Let's talk about the psychology behind the Trump cult, because that's what it is. It's not a normal political movement anymore. It's a cult of personality. And if we want to fight it, we have to understand it. So let's break it down. First, Trump doesn't offer policies. He offers identity. He's not popular because of what he does, but because of what he represents. To many of his followers, he's the walking, talking middle finger to a system they believe has failed them.
Isn't that literally what, like, she nails this. Is the only guest we had today, isn't that exactly what he said? I don't care about any of this shit. He just hates the same people I do.
They see him as their guy, not because he's honest, not because he helps them, but because he talks like them, rages like them, and punches the people they've been told to blame for everything. In psychology, there's a term for this: identity fusion. It's when your personal identity becomes fused with your group or leader. That's why criticism of Trump feels like a personal attack to his supporters. It's not just he's being criticized, it's I'm being criticized. Second, he offers revenge, not solutions. He doesn't promise to fix healthcare or raise wages or protect your rights. He promises to go after them. Whether it's immigrants, the press, black activists, LGBTQ people, liberals, college students, elites, anyone outside the tribe. That's classic authoritarianism. Give people a sense of law. Tell them who stole it, then promise to make them pay. And to some people, that rage, that promise of vengeance is more emotionally satisfying than actual policy. It doesn't fix their problems, but it feels like power.
It's laziness. It's dope. It's chasing dopamine. It's easy to watch a clip and get upset. It's easy to do like the generic shit of like, oh, all liberals, all Democrats, or like we got to tear down the status quo, burn the whole thing to the ground. Like, it's easy to use these catchphrases, and that's all Trump offers. He just says the shit that you and your friends think, and so it's easy. You have an emotional attachment. It's difficult to look into it. It's difficult to form opinions. It's difficult to take data and come up with a conclusion and not think about like the political lines that you're drawing in the sand there. It's just easy. It's a bunch of people who have never really done a lot of intellectual work. That's why you don't see intellectuals around Donald Trump unless they're like billionaires just trying to get a tax cut.
Third, people crave order, and Trump promises strength. When institutions fail, when you don't trust the media, the courts, elections, schools, you start to look for a savior, someone who says, only I can fix it. That's why Trump acts like a strong man. He creates the crisis, then sells himself as the only one tough enough to stop it. He's done that over and over and over again.
Johnny Longshell said, why do you hate reading my name? I didn't.
Not leading a movement. He's leading a dependency. Fourth, his followers are trapped in an information bubble. They don't just believe lies, they live inside them. Fox News, MAGA influencers, far-right churches, Trump's own app, Truth Social, it's a closed-loop ecosystem that tells them every day, the elites hate you, the media lies, only Trump tells the truth. This is called epistemic closure. When you no longer accept any outside information, it's cult logic. If Trump says it, it's true.
This is how I grew up. Like this, and it's why it was so alarming when, as a Republican, like Trump came along, because everything he does mimics the way that I grew up. Like, we had a closed culture. We didn't go out and we didn't look like news organizations, none of that. Movies, none of that. We had rating systems that we weren't allowed to bypass. We had specific things like science. Like every year, my entire life, Utah has been in a drought, and every year, rather than addressing the problems in Utah that have led to a drought, the state has a statewide fast. We all pray and we don't eat for a day and say, God, give us some rain. And it never works. It never works. And the people every year, the same people come back and they're like, oh, we're going to do a fast so that we can end the drought. And every year they pray for the drought to end. And then the same people, they're like, oh, I'm not eating today. What are you doing today? Well, it's 2:30 in the afternoon in July and I'm out watering my grass. Like my family, we had I think it was like 3/4 of an acre is what we lived on. It was mostly grass. All my neighbors have these massive lawns that require a ton of water and gardens. Nobody thought to do like zero res or zero escape. Nobody did that. We're just like, God will take care of it. No problem here. We'll just water all our lawns. Everybody has a massive lawn. It was like the big thing. And this is what cults do. Like when you get stuck in this loop where like you're not allowed to hear anything outside of the cult, you wind up just ignoring obvious things. The guy who keeps asking me about like the Fed cutting rates, and you're trying to make it like an emotional argument. Well, how does it affect you personally? I don't fucking care. Look, if you drop the rate is really like what we sell debt at. And the rate has to be reflective of inflation and economic indicators, right? And it has to, like, it moves depending on inflation. That's one of the indicators at least. And if inflation is going up, we're not going to cut rates. So you're trying to argue it from this emotional standpoint, which is what all of MAGA is. You guys it's all emotion. When I say something like, oh, fucking Donald Trump meeting with Putin and kissing his ass, you guys don't go, what do you mean by kissing his ass? What do you mean by that? You go, why do you hate America? Why do you want bad things to happen? I don't, but that's the emotional response, because inside of your echo chamber, which none of you realize that you're in, there is no criticism of Donald Trump allowed. It's not allowed to be in there. It doesn't even flow. So when it does show up, it feels fucking uncomfortable. The first time anybody in my life, like it was my brother, brought up the fact that the Mormon church was lying to us about stuff. Dude, I've never felt more uncomfortable in my fucking life. I was furious at him. He was right. And my parents were mad at him because we didn't allow that stuff into our spaces. When I was a Mormon missionary, we were instructed that if we were talking to anybody while we were out knocking on doors, if anybody started bringing up anti-Mormon literature or like Joseph Smith had child brides, we were taught to leave, exit, no matter what, end the conversation, exit. Do not engage in those discussions. And they'd say, because it just leads to a bad place. And that bad place was truth. That's where it led. The bad place that it led was away from the cult. They don't want you to move away from the cult. So any information that comes in is destructive to the cult. So the cult systematically starts removing that information. And that's what you see with Trump. He's completely surrounded by sycophants now. Fox News I showed you those clips from Fox on purpose because Fox News now is laundering it. They're lying for him. And they're at the stage now, like Bartiromo, she's saying things publicly that she must know are lies. She must know that. But even she doesn't. She's just like, I don't believe the media anymore. I don't believe data. The jobs numbers come out and they're bad, fire them. The inflation numbers come out and they're bad, fire them. Jerome Powell doesn't want to lower the rate because the economic indicators don't match up with lowering the rate, fire him. Somebody leaks that Pete Hegseth shared classified documents or classified information over Signal, fire him. A meeting gets leaked to the press, fire them. Anybody around Trump who tells the truth gets removed. That's what she's explaining here. And it gets to the point where for you guys, you don't recognize that you are inside of an echo chamber. It doesn't feel like an echo chamber to you. It feels normal to you. And you all feel like everybody outside of the echo chamber is actually crazy. Just like I felt like, why the fuck would anybody care that Joseph Smith, like, why would they lie about Joseph Smith having child brides? They just hate all the success that Mormons are having. Why would they bring up that we didn't give black people the priesthood until the 70s and we got boycotted by every college in America? Why do they just must hate Mormons? They don't want to see us successful. They're jealous of us. That's what we would say. We said the same thing. So I grew up in this in these exact conditions. And that's where you guys are at right now. And honestly, it's going to take something to break the shelf. That's why I wanted like focus on people who say like who want to acknowledge that Trump lies about tariffs. I want to break your fucking shelf. I want a little crack to form. I want you to get a glimpse of, oh my God, this guy lies. And once you accept that Trump lies about something, you're going to find out he lies about fucking everything. And everybody around you is going to tell you not to listen to me or anybody like me. And if you bring up to those friends, if you find out that Trump lied about tariffs and you bring it up to your friends, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go, what about Joe Biden? What about Nancy Pelosi? What about? And they're going to push you away. And if you push on them, if you're like, wait, could we just talk about this though? Could we just talk about how Donald Trump is lying about something obvious like tariffs? They're going to tell you no. They're not going to have that discussion with you. They don't want that. They don't want the crack. They don't want the shelf to break. They don't want a glimpse into the fact that they are being walked into fascism through obvious lies. If you allow your politicians to lie to you, you're fucked. It's over. They all want power. Every one of them wants power. And sometimes I don't think they start with like this idea that like they're going to take over power. Or that they're going to like consolidate power. That's a better way to put it, not take over. Consolidate power. I don't even think Trump started off saying, I'm going to consolidate power. But if there's ever a threat to him, he removes it, and that's how the power consolidates. And that's where we're at now. We're legitimately, every night on the news, they're telling you, like, all these things are happening, but don't believe it. Just trust Trump. Trust the plan. And you're like, all right, yeah, we'll just trust the plan.
If the world says otherwise, the world is lying. And then fifth, shame is too powerful, so they double down, just like Trump does. Some Trump supporters know deep down they've been conned. They've seen the cruelty, the corruption, the chaos, but they've already invested years of their identity into defending him. To walk away now would mean confronting shame, losing their community, admitting they were wrong. And that's terrifying to them. So instead, they dig in deeper. And finally, and this one matters, Trump makes them feel seen. He tells them, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way. That line, it's emotional manipulation, but it works. Because for millions of people who feel ignored, dismissed, mocked by elites, Trump says, you matter. You're not crazy, they are. He gives them belonging. And in a country where loneliness is rising and inequality is everywhere, belonging is everything. So when people ask, why do people love him? Why would they follow him off a cliff? It's not just politics, it's psychology, it's identity, and it's fear. This is deliberate. Trump didn't create the cult. He just saw the cracks in our society and he weaponized them. But here,
the part she's talking about, like the community. There's something that if you've come out of high demand religion, that I think, I know we have some ex-Mormons here, some ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. You'll understand this, but and I've tried to explain this to the people in my life that are still in the cult, and I hate going back to Utah. I get a knot in my stomach when I go back to Utah. I just don't want to be there. It feels so uncomfortable and artificial to me. And I tried to explain it to my mom. Like I said, when I have a sister who's still relatively Mormon, and I said, when people ask about her, like when people ask you about her, and you tell them how she's doing, they're all like, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm so glad she's doing well. When they ask you how I'm doing, no matter what you say, they will bring up like, oh, I'm glad he's doing well. Like, is he coming back to church? Is he still not going to church? When I come across them, they look at me with pity. Like my life is so bad because I'm not Mormon anymore. It's a really uncomfortable feeling. And so even without people like shunning you and throwing you out, you lose your home, you lose your community. And even then, even the people that may not feel that way, it feels that way. Like when everybody around you is in that same community, when you lose that, you do lose everything. Whether people make a big deal out of it or not, like you all of a sudden are alone. And that's what these folks from MAGA are confronting right now. And that's what they're going to have to confront in the years to come. They're going to have to either say, fuck it, I'm staying with the group, or I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose all my friends. They're not going to want to discuss this with me. They're going to look at everything differently. I have a group of really close friends. Like, as I switched sides politically, it changes the whole dynamic of every conversation. Like even jokes, like it becomes tricky. Right? Because if you're all targeting the same people, and a lot of right-wing humor is punching down. It's a lot of punching down. And I don't know if my friend is still here. I know he was watching this earlier, but he and I have had this discussion where he and I had a separation. Is like, once I had kind of left these beliefs behind, I got really uncomfortable punching down at marginalized people or people who were in a slim minority. And that's most of it. That's most of the humor. So it created like this weird dynamic in my friendships where the stuff that I used to think is funny, I don't find funny anymore. And for them, they're like I get it from their perspective. They're like, this guy changed. Like, this was our friend and now he's changed. And I agree. I did change. But looking at it, I'm like, I still think things are funny. I still like comedians. But what I don't like is like cheap jokes at marginalized people. And I don't like that the jokes flow in one direction. And when you're on the other side, like, there were a lot of jokes about, oh, Joe Biden. Did you hear what Joe Biden said? And I'm like, bro, are you watching what Trump says? I'm fine. I'll laugh at Joe Biden, but then if I hit those same groups back with a Trump joke, it's like icy. It's real fucking icy. They're like, dude, you always have to ruin it. Right? Because they can't take that joke back. That's because that's what Trump creates. He creates this echo chamber where you can only punch outward or down. You cannot punch inward. Certainly not at Trump. So jokes about Trump to Trump people aren't funny at all. I think jokes about a lot of politicians are funny. I'll take jokes about Joe Biden. I make jokes about Joe Biden. But jokes about Trump in Trump world, they're not funny. They'll be met with whataboutism. Just like jokes about the Mormon prophet weren't funny. And like stuff the Mormon prophet would say, I've explained this before, but like he would get up and he would speak and he would say something not even that funny. It wouldn't even really be funny at all. It would just be like, oh man, am I hungry today? I can't wait till this speech is over so I can have some good lunch. And the whole crowd would go wild like, ha ha, that's amazing. He's human. That's Trump. You go watch Howard Lutnick sit behind Trump. Go watch J.D. Vance. Go watch Pete Hegseth. He trots them all out there. Every time he does a press conference, he has these people behind him. And anytime he says something cruel or degrading about somebody outside of the Trump circle, they'll all laugh. They're all he loves that. That's why they're there on stage, to laugh with him. Most of his jokes aren't that funny. Most of them, like, nobody even gets. It's like a handful of people. You'll notice that journalists aren't laughing. It's just like Pete Hegseth and Howard Lutnick are laughing. It creates this really fucking uncomfortable dynamic and even the people that don't know that they're in it, just the people that are adjacent to it, like the generic Republican voter, that they feel that. You know this about your families. You know you can't make jokes about Donald Trump to your family. They will not laugh at jokes about Donald Trump. You know that. That's what she's explaining here. Is that without these folks knowing what has happened to them, they've been put in this community, and their community is tight knit, and their community hates everybody outside of their community. You know why? That's why people say Mormons like, oh, I love their community and their family and their values. Yeah, it's because they've convinced themselves that everybody outside of the community is out to get them, and they have to stay together as a community to be protected. And if you leave that community, you will no longer be protected because the world is out to get you, to bring you down. Satan's out there to bring you down. Satan's out there trying to get you to stick your dick in some people. And if you leave the community, Satan will get you. And they'll talk about you inside of the community like that. Oh, yeah. Just like they talk about kids that go to college now. Yeah, I mean, my kid was fine until he went off and went to college. Now he's a fucking lib. Now he cares about people. Suddenly he's going to pride festivals. Yeah. Yeah, because you view that as an attack. You viewed acceptance of other people as an attack on you. And it's not an attack on you. You view that people like thinking differently is an attack on you. And so then you guys consolidate around a president who uses your feelings of like you don't like people who are different to you, and then he tries to legislate that. He tries to legislate like, oh, if it, suddenly now you've served in the military for 18 years, you're a trans person, you don't get to be there anymore. Sorry about that. Oh, you were gay and you were in the military, your name was Harvey Milk. Yeah, we're gonna strip away any recognition of you. We're gonna put Christianity at the center. We're gonna criminalize ideologies. We understand in this country that you guys want to criminalize communism and socialism. You guys look at that like it's a crime. It's an ideology. It is a theory. It is an economic theory. You now think that only your economic theory should be discussed. Only your ideologies should be discussed. And anybody who has a different ideology or theory than you is the enemy, and their voices should be silenced. And yet you still think you're the free speech people. You still think you're the democracy people. We're doing authoritarianism. It's here. We have troops on the ground. Donald Trump is threatening only democratic cities. He's threatening institutions that if they don't teach what he wants them to teach, that they don't get to exist anymore. And you're, this is free speech. It's only because you're insulated. It's because you refuse to branch out. It's because you refuse to look at Donald Trump as a human and not like a god.
Here's the thing. Not everyone in that cult is unreachable. Some are too far gone, but others are on the edge, quiet, doubting, hurting. We don't get them back with facts. We get them back by offering something Trump never will. Real community, real care, and real solutions. Because people don't join cults when they're happy and secure. They join when they're scared, isolated, and desperate for meaning. So here's your call to action. Keep speaking truth, keep exposing the con, and when you can, offer people a way out that doesn't begin with shame, but with dignity. This fight isn't just about defeating Trump. It's about breaking the spell and building something better in its place. That's how we get them in. That's how we get them to abandon him. Let's do it.
Ironically enough, like the people that are upset in the chat right now, like you're calling everybody stupid. Like she just told you what you all do. That like any criticism of Trump can't be tolerated, and that you guys will lash out at people who criticize Trump. And ironically, you're doing it. Like while she's saying it, you're doing it, and you're like, this lady's an idiot. The fuck, she just hates America. Commie, socialist. You're literally doing the things that she tells you are going to do. A text sent a message said this describes me perfectly from 2 months ago. Last thing I'll end on, I think what she said there is important too. You can't reach everybody. Not everybody's willing to be reached. But when you do reach them, do your best to give them a soft landing space. I know that this is going to get some pushback from some of you. I know that. You can fight. You can do it. I don't always do it right. I call people names a lot. I'm certainly not perfect. But when you get somebody and you can have a conversation, like provide them steps. Let them take the steps necessary. They're not going to make the leap all at once. But if you have somebody who's willing to engage and at least discuss this stuff, like have the discussion. Give them a soft landing spot. That's it. That's as much advice for me as it is for anybody else. I don't think I'm like. I think it would be fair to say that I'm hypocritical sometimes in that regard. But, anyways, no, thank you. They aren't safe. Eileen, I think that's crazy. When you say that they're not safe, like you have to understand you're political. Like you're following this stuff. If you're watching my show, if you're watching political shows every day, like you're different than most people. Most people aren't doing this every day. The majority of Democrat and Republican voters don't actually really know what's going on at all. And I do think sometimes that's important too. You have to realize that like your access to information is probably what makes you more certain. I know when I got out of the cult, it legitimately was a one person who approached it in a very cautious way and gave me just like a small out. And then it was like slowly I started seeing things for what it was. But if somebody had just told me like, you know, fuck you, you're a Mormon, you're no good, you'll never understand this, you're not safe, I might still be there. That's all I'm saying is that like we're different. Anybody that's watching this right now, like none of us are normal. Okay, we're invested far more than the average American. Whether you agree or disagree with me on this chat today, like we're all we're pretty different than most Americans. Like this is something that we care passionately about. It's something that we spend a lot of time researching and understanding. Most people don't. Most people don't know any of this stuff is happening. I think if you asked a everyday Republican or everyday Democrat what's happening, I think most of them aren't going to know. Most people don't do this. So that's what I'm saying. So when you find people like that who are just like, I've always voted Republican, I like Republicans because I want lower taxes, like offer a soft landing spot there. Like don't go straight to, you're in a cult. There's people that are in a cult. The Republicans that yell at me every day that are here, those are the cult members. And not all Republicans are like that. Most aren't. Most of the Republicans I know in my life, I respect greatly, and I love them, and they don't know any of this stuff. And when we have conversations, sometimes we can move them there. But I will say, for the Republicans that normally show up and scream at us, those people are unsafe. I agree. I do think that those people are unsafe for you. And if they're not showing any willingness to have that discussion, then yeah, you don't need to necessarily provide a soft landing spot there. This is the game of politics. This is the sport of politics. Like shit talking inside of this game. I'm a fan of that. I like talking shit. I did it when I played sports. I do it now. I do it in all aspects of my life. When it is like the sport of it. This is the sport of politics. That's why we're all here today. But it is Friendly Friday. I do think we hit the gift goal. Let me double check. I'm fairly certain we did. So if you're here for Friendly Friday, start hopping in the VC. I think Jen will pull me over there in Discord, and we'll finish up with the Friendliest Friday on YouTube. I just can't understand why anyone would like Trump. I don't either, man. I don't get it either. I was a Republican when Trump came around. I've never understood the appeal, but I do like if you look back and you see how he accomplished what he did, it was I understand what happened. He was in a Republican field full of like establishment, really buttoned up, generic Republicans, and he just made them all look stupid. He exposed all of them for being phonies, and then they tried to say he was a phony, and he's like, yeah, but at least I'm honest about it. That's how he won. Unsafe? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think some of you guys would be unsafe. I think some of the stuff that you guys advocate for would make people unsafe in this country. I think right now, if you are a Hispanic person in this country, Republicans advocating for this the unleashing of ICE on American citizens, I think that you guys have made America a much less safe place for Hispanic people, whether they're here legally or illegally. Yeah, I think that you guys have made America less safe. I think that's pretty clear at this point. Ironically, all in the name of law and order. You've made us economically less safe. On a world stage, you've made us less safe. You've alienated our trade partners. You've alienated our allies. You've sided with genocidal maniac in Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah, legitimately, I can't imagine anybody being more destructive to the future of America than Donald Trump. Like just as a singular president, nobody has done more damage than Donald Trump. Because even when Donald Trump is gone, you guys will never trust anything ever again. You guys don't trust science anymore. It's almost the opposite of science. Whatever scientists say, now you guys believe the opposite of that. I'm Hispanic and I live right next to the border and I'm doing okay. Yeah, but you're still statistically less safe, right? Do you know Trump hired Besant that was a George Soros protege? Yeah, I knew that. Jen, do we have people for Friendly Friday? Oh, there we go. You just didn't pull me over. There we are. Hey. Jen, looks like you're muted.
Yeah. Swish.
Hey, Swish.
Oh, hey, there were 2 people ahead of me. Do you want me to just
I just
go?
grabbed the first name I saw. I
All right, all right. Well, hello, Double Daddy,
Hey.
Sister Wife 69, reporting for duty. First things first, sir. When I type meow all in caps with asterisks before and after, I expect a meow. I expect you to read it. So it should have been grifty, grift, meow. Okay.
Grifty, grift, meow. Like that?
That's right.
How did I say it?
You didn't say it, sir. You didn't say the meow.
I didn't? I'm
And
very
I'm
sorry.
just saying,
Okay, my bad.
no.
My bad.
All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, I want to talk to you a bit about my friend Canyon Sky. I'm sure is here, and I told him I was going to talk about this. So you had a debate like Monday night, I think. So no show on Tuesday, I think it was, if I have my schedule right. So then Wednesday, of course, I do my gaming stream every morning, very early morning. And on Wednesday, Canyon came in, and I always get excited when people come in that I know from like other spaces, but don't necessarily frequent mine. And I was like, hey, how are you? And they were like, hey, how are you? And I was like, listen, I want to know, what do you do when Jay doesn't have a show? Because by God, I was doom scrolling yesterday. I couldn't even stand myself. What do you do? And Canyon's like, I don't know. We need to figure something out, right? So here, I've been thinking about it. So this is what I came up with. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So you ever see the movie Multiplicity
No.
with Michael Keaton?
No.
Okay. So basically what it is, it's from like, I don't know, I think early 90s or something. But essentially what it is one of him is not enough and they end up cloning him. Right.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do. Right. We're going to clone you. So original Jay, you're going to be doing your show no matter what, like what we're doing right here.
Okay.
Right. Because we need the best version of you. Right. Because every time you clone, your personality changes a little and you get a little dumber. Right. But that's good news. No, wait till I get down the list. It's good news. Right. So authentic, real Jay, that's Jay1. You're doing the show.
Okay.
Jay number 2 is the one that's going to debate on whatever platforms, Rotten Tomatoes, whatever it is.
Okay.
Number three, you're going to go back to date night with Admir, because I do have people coming into my live going, we missed date night with Admir. And that's because Admir came in this morning and that's why we're talking about it.
Okay.
And he's so elevated all the time. You could dumb yourself down a little bit and you guys can have a good conversation. And it would be like tying your hands behind your back. So his opposition that comes in there, they'd have a fairer shot.
Okay.
So that's number 3. So number 4, here's the one. Number 4, you're going to do a whole separate show. You're going to read the transcript of Authentic Jay's show. But number 4, he's a dumb guy. You might be drooling a little and MAGA might be able to understand your points a little better. And then the last one, super drooly Jay.
Yeah.
We're going to save that guy just for Tex. So like when you're talking to Tex, you are so fucking dumbed down that he'll appreciate it. That's like my gift to Tex today.
Tex, if you're here, you can't fuck J5. It's not, you can't do that, even if I'm dumb.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes, Tex, it always has to be with consent, sir. And I don't know if J5 will have his wits about him enough.
He's probably cool with whatever. I'm sure he's very open-minded.
So that's it. That's what I came up with, Canyon. I hope you like it. We can talk about it Monday morning. when you come in, but that's what I came up with, friend. That's
I
it.
love
I
it.
hope you have I hope you have a great weekend. And it is football season, so go Bills.
Go Niners. Oh, good one.
Hey.
See ya.
You too. Bye.
All right, who's next?
All right. Kirsten.
Hello. How are you?
Hey.
Oops, sorry, you hate that. Can we talk about the debate on Monday?
The debate I had on Monday?
I mean,
Yeah.
we've got 2 minutes, so I mean, if you can get it done in 2 minutes.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
It's just like the feelings that you had during that. I had a massive headache when when you were spitting facts with him and he arranged the facts and threw it back at you. I had a massive headache and I felt like I was going through a roller coaster of like, wait, that's not what he said. Like, did you ever get like a roller coaster of frustration, of irritability, or just feel like you had this headache when you were debating?
No, I mean, like, I kind of knew how that debate would go. I knew that he had the positive claim and that he would try and get me to, like, he would try and reverse it so that I had to, like, defend every position. It went about exactly how I expected it would, where he would make a claim and then he would try and force me to defend Harris, which is impossible because it was a total hypothetical because she was never president. It went about how I thought it would go. Yeah. So no.
Okay. And like, does it irritate you at all, like, to feel like when you go into these debates to have like a genuine conversation, but they end up like it seems like it's irritating to go into those debates because I watched debates a couple times, but they're ingenuine and they don't bring like logical information into it.
So the debate isn't ever for them. The debate is hopefully that there's people in the audience that will hear something different and an alternative. And I can say this: like, I'm not going to debate over there anymore. We don't really need to talk about why, but every time I debate over there, I wind up getting DMs, and it starts conversations with other people. The reality is that everybody that debates over there and the people that host over there, they're doing it for money. That's why money gets brought up all the time. That's why dick measuring gets brought up. They're doing it for money. So there's no, these aren't real discussions. These aren't real debates. They're there with their audience to claim that they want to debate, and they're there to either clip or build their audience. But no, these are not good faith discussions that are had over there. So I was already aware of that going in. I like at the end when there's a panel, and those panels always go much better than the debates because the people on the panel don't feel like that if they admit that they're wrong, that they lose their audience. And so, no, not that frustrated, to be honest. It went about I'd already debated Rob once before, and it was exactly the same. So.
Okay. Well, I hope you and Jen have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for chatting with me, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. JTS.
Hey.
You're muted.
Is it my turn? I was sorry.
No, it's JT's.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was not expecting to. I was out making a delivery. I had to run back to my truck. Hello. Hello, Poop Jay. How are you? Right? Is that what we're referring to you as?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, no, we might be copyright. Whatever. I do have two things to bring up to you. I believe it was the Pod Save America. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Pod Save America, Pete Buttigieg was on there, and he was saying, they asked him a question, do you recognize Palestine as a state?
Mm-hmm.
And he went on this big ramble, basically not answering the question. I was reading through the Twitter replies of that episode, and everyone's like, "Oh, I lost my vote or whatever." And I was really disappointed in that because Buttigieg has always been my number one, who I want to support because I love his policies and just who he is and stuff. I was wondering if you had any comments on that. Like, is he like just playing typical politics, or what do you think?
I could go back and watch it again. I remember what I thought when I saw that. I saw it, Majority Report covered it, and Emma Vigeland and Sam Cedar were extremely critical of Pete Buttigieg, but I didn't have the same takeaway there. I didn't think that Pete Buttigieg was wishy-washy on that. I think what he was saying, like, he was pointing out that there are different opinions, and I think sometimes we forget that he's running, like, if he's running for president and he's running to unify a party, we have to understand that there is a not insignificant amount of people in this party who think that who are semi-Zionist, right? There is a difference of opinions within the party, and so I thought he did a pretty good job, honestly, of saying, like, we have to get on the same page of understanding. We have to understand that people have real concerns about Hamas, or people have real concerns about whatever it might be. I thought what he laid out is that there are questions and concerns that we have to address, and I do think he's right. You can't just say. You can't just expect everybody to have the same understanding you have of Palestine, of the atrocities that have been committed there. Some people, again, are undereducated, and so they have legitimate concerns. There are things that they feel about, even if those concerns are based on a lack of information. So we have to provide that information. I had a different opinion with Pete Buttigieg, and I might be biased there, but I didn't agree with the majority report on that either. Which is rare. I'm usually kind of in line with Sam Cedar. I thought it was really unfair criticism that they gave Buttigieg. I can go watch it again, but I remember watching it just thinking, like, I didn't think he was dodging the question. I thought he was opening it up a little bit, but I could be wrong. I can go watch it again.
Okay, yeah, that makes me want to go back and rewatch it and actually, actively listen to what he said, because I don't know, I felt like I was just kind of like, oh, he didn't specifically say Palestine is a state, so that makes me want to go back and listen to it also. So I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend.
All right, have a great weekend. Bye.
All right, thanks. Q.
What's up, Q?
Oh, did he leave? Looks like he left. Oh, Q, are you there? I'm not seeing.
I don't think I read this one. Miguel said it's not about choosing sides, but we do have a good, we do have to have a good talk and make sure we have similar values, empathy, caring. We need to have a discussion. I agree with that. I like that, Miguel.
The person that just unmuted, she was speaking with you. She's speaking to you. It's your turn to talk. I'm
No,
sorry,
Q-
RPP.
No, that's not. No.
That was Q, right? You were talking to Q.
No. Q's. I'm not seeing Q on my screen. And Q's been here before. But Dolphin, you were next. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Hi,
Hey.
Jay.
Hey.
Once again, I'm gonna try to make this as fast as possible because mine's a bit of an observation with the things that I've been through in my life and about MAGA that maybe people haven't recognized before. I'm gonna try to make this fast. I was born physically disabled. I've got scoliosis, spina bifida, and lots of other different problems. Now, I was bullied my whole life. I recognize bullies. I've had 9 major surgeries by the time I was 15. And that's exactly what MAGA are. They also remind me of what I used to be, which is also I am a recovering addict. My yay day was before it was the worst day in the history of the United States. I've been clean 12 years, January 6th, from the same rug as Hunter Biden. They remind me of what I used to be. Because when I was that way, I wanted everything right away. Everything done needs to be immediate satisfaction. It didn't matter to me what I had to do to obtain what I needed to get for my gratification. And they have no self control. I just wanted to make a few of those. I also have a joke at the end of this, but the other day I sent a wolf. It was a really, really cool thing, and then I realized, oh my god, I should just send you the $60 I just spent on that stupid thing.
It sucks. I can't see them. Yeah, with Streamlabs, I can't even see like the gifts come in. It sucks.
Yeah, I was
I
hoping
saw
that
it.
Jen would have clipped it. Yeah, she was like, "Oh my god, that was so good." Anyways, so what do you think in regards to what I had to say with my personal my personal I can't think right now. I think you understand what I mean, right?
Are you saying maybe not? I think you're trying to say like you've
The
dealt with bullies. You feel
comparison,
like it's like Trump and MAGA, like it's bullying.
well, it's not just the bullying. It's also that MAGA reminds me of me being a previous addict, because the instant gratification,
Mhm.
they'll do no matter what to get that gratification, which is the hate, the racism, you know what I'm
The
saying?
dopamine.
They
Yeah, it's
want
the
daddy to
dopamine.
tell them good things.
Yeah, it's the dopamine. Yeah, instant gratification is exactly right. That's what MAGA provides. I think that's what that video showed earlier too. That's what they give you. Politics and specifically like lawmaking, it's not instant gratification. It takes work. It takes time. Trump does give people like catchphrases and moments every single day that they can be like, ah, fuck yeah, I like that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he has made. I think he's made it in like a world where that we have a short attention span. He's created a movement where you don't have to have much of an attention span, and you feel like you're like on top of things. Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to make this joke quick
Okay.
because I'd love to make you blush. And it's kind of a guy joke, but I was kind of raised by my brother, and he always said, "Be a man, walk it out." So here we go. There's
Okay.
a fly, and he's hovering 12 inches above the water, and there's this fish, and he's looking up there, and he's going, "Well, if that fly drops down 6 inches, I can jump up and I can have me a little lunch." Well, there's this fisherman, and he's up in the tree, and he's eyeing that fly, and he's eyeing that fish, and he's like, "Well, if that fly drops down 6 inches, that fish goes for that fly. I'm gonna catch that fish, and I'm gonna have me a good dinner." There's this cat, and he's looking up at that fisherman, and he looks out the water, he sees the fly, and he says, "Well, if that fly drops down 6 inches, that fish goes for that fly. That fisherman goes for that fish. I'm gonna run out, I'm gonna get that fish, and I'm gonna have me a good dinner." Well, everything goes to a plan. Fly drops down 6 inches, fish goes for the fly, fisherman catches the fish, cat runs out to go get it, trips over the root of the tree. What is the moral of the story?
I don't know.
Every time a fly drops down 6 inches, a pussy gets wet. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right.
Not every time, I can tell you that.
Q, are you there?
Hey, who's next?
Well, Q's next. If he
Oh,
Q, you're
Q.
muted. I don't know if you know that. Okay, unmuted. If you're talking, we can't hear you. You might need to check and see if I don't know if that drop out of the VC and come right back. You might need to do that. Okay, just disconnect and have him come back.
Okay.
Cranberry.
Hey, Cranberry.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I really only had like one thing to say, but then I heard Swish with her brilliant idea, and I thought it kind of it got me thinking, and I just wanted to ask if you're familiar with the movie Being John Malkovich.
That's yeah, I am.
Beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
I also I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't seen it, but I
Oh.
have seen one of the most iconic scenes, which I'd be more than happy to send you a picture of. But it's just John Malkovich in a red dress with some honking bazookas.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking J5. I just wanted to throw that in there. But I'll just let that kind of simmer, and then I'll get to the joke that I wanted to make, which I thought of last week, and I think it might be the funniest thing I've ever thought of in my life, and so nobody can take that away from me.
Okay.
But wait, no, it was right here. It was right here. Give me a second.
I do have John Malkovich with a rack up on the screen. I know you can't see it, but it's there.
I did immediately go and save that picture just so I could like throw it in the chat, just to gift everybody else that image. But what's the difference, or what do? Sorry, I have a muted stream up on the screen, and so now I just saw you pull it up.
You're good.
But what do very cheap circumcisions and very expensive circumcisions have in common?
I don't know.
They're both ripoffs. All right. Happy Friday. Bye, everybody.
Happy Friday. Who's next?
We'll try Q again.
8th time's the charm.
Hey, how about this time? That working?
We got it.
Hey, fantastic.
Hey.
And here I always thought 69 was my lucky number. Happy Friendly Friday. This is my final day at work here, like I told you guys. So I said I should just check in. Appreciate all the commentary all week.
Yeah.
Still yell at my phone at a lot of the people that come up, but
It happens.
So is life. Back. Crazy the lack of engagement that a lot of people still have while all these things are going on, especially now with DC. So
Yeah. You mean like the lack of like response from regular people? Is that what you mean? Like they're not being engaged? Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that especially like one of the things that like I always talk about is like the Black perspective. After being both my parents were born in Nigeria, so I'm like first generation along with my younger sister, and then trying to talk to people in the community, and it's like the lights just aren't. They're not even flickering yet for a lot of people that I talk to about it. So I'm like,
Yeah. I think we talked about that yesterday. Like it's just it sucks, but the reality is like this will hit when it hits the suburbs. That's when it'll become real for people, and it's just not real for
which is
people yet.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because it's also unfortunate because if it does make it out of DC into bigger cities, it's really gonna probably come as a real culture shock. Because like right now, yeah, sure, it's legal for them to do it in DC, and they're already seeing how. I think Gremlo had a clip from Conscious Leon showing how they came in through DC and they finally showed up in like the quote unquote the hood. They just rolled up, started putting people in handcuffs, and it was like, but why? They haven't done anything wrong. You're in there.
Is that the one where they pulled up and they're like somebody's running and they just had that one dude in the handcuffs and they were like, oh, we're just detaining him. He just clearly wasn't doing anything. Yeah, I saw that. That was weird. That was so weird. Yeah.
But like, and I think that that's the thing is that as you find the more videos with those communities, they're going to be far more audacious.
You know what? You know what's hard watching that video too is just like the people there that are like, the police are stripping their rights away. And they're pissed. And there was that one guy that was just screaming at his friends, like, guys, chill. But like, and I appreciated that guy because he did de-escalate. But what are you supposed to do? The police come in, you're just supposed to like bend over and give them your rights. Like,
unfortunately, I don't think that your stream is the proper place to express that, nor is any other stream because we don't want that posts. So, but unfortunately, it's gonna be that people are gonna just have to keep standing up.
Yeah. And they're begging for that violence. They want that. They want the violence to happen so they can pop off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But hopefully we find better strategies.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, thanks for having me up. Everybody have a great week. Tex, I'm glad that you've shifted for old Tex though. Fuck him. And NPS also please note that JD Vance is having a terrible trip overseas. The guy who was like banned from coming into the U.S. because of that picture of him fat. There's been like a van following him from every stop, and then somewhere he went to go eat, the restaurant banned him because their entire staff walked out.
Yeah, JD Vance on his 25th fucking vacation so far.
Oh my God! But Obama golfed so much.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like on a boys trip. I don't know if you guys have seen JD Vance. He's out on a boys golf trip for some reason.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Thanks, guys.
Good to see you, brother. See ya.
Positive impact.
Hey.
Hey. Great show as usual. Great week.
Thank you.
And yeah. So I've been seeing all these posts about these so-called music festivals as a way to be talking about the different protests and stuff. Um, and that it's not getting covered by the news and things like that. Do you know, like, is that true?
Is it true that they're
Have
not
you heard
being
that?
covered by the news?
Or that there's all these major protests in all the big cities?
From my understanding, I saw Shit, who did I see? There was one of my creative friends was in LA. He told me that there have been protests every day. So
Okay.
from my understanding, in a lot of these major cities, there are protests every day. They're not necessarily as big, but yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing. Like I wish we had. I guess we wish we had more news coverage, but I don't know what. I don't expect the news to cover a protest every day, especially peaceful ones. They're only going to cover it if it stops being peaceful, and that's the thing that sucks. Like in order for you to get some attention, you got to do something fucked up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess
Yeah.
that's true. Um, yeah, I was just, I live in a small town, and we definitely have people, every day out at the one major intersection protesting, and at the No Kings we had, more people than have ever been, uh, at one place in our town, I think ever in its history. But yeah, I haven't seen. I was just curious if it's because I've been itching for another big reason to get everyone together, and I think there's another one coming up here pretty soon. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not tied in with the activist crowd very well. I'm probably seeing the same stuff you are, just mostly on like TikTok and Twitter.
yeah, okay, that
All
was
right.
my question.
Thanks. All
Just
right.
feeling like I need to do something.
Well, go out, go sit on a street corner and hold up a sign.
I like it to have more impact than just a few of us standing out there. It's like when I like the coordinated things that make a bigger impact. So
Yeah, I'm sure if Trump, I think, extends this out past DC, like Q said, technically he's within his legal right. But if he extends this into other cities, I think we'll see mass protests again.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the more we can show how much we hate him.
Yeah.
So
All right. We'll make
all
that
right.
positive impact.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Thanks.
We'll see it.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. I'm probably say this from Pollen. Pollen.
Did you say Poland?
Pollen. If you're talking, we can't hear you. All right. It looks like you might have the same issue that Q did. Pop out and then come back in. Are you there?
Jen, I do have a hard cutoff at 1 today, by the way. I forgot to tell you that. So we got about 15 more minutes.
All right. All right, Pollen. We can't. Try. All right. Try again.
No?
There we go.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, sweet. Oh, hi. What's up? I'm from Toronto. I'm a good old Canadian boy, and I was thinking, like, I love the stream,
Thank you.
but and I used to love America. I always wanted to live in America, but the thing is, after all this bullshit with Trump and all this fascism play around,
I don't mean to cut you off. We have 2 minutes for each person, and Jay's got to cut off at and I think I mentioned this to you in DMs. This isn't a 2-minute question. If you have something else you want to bring up, it's going to take longer than that. And I want to just start cutting if any more people joining Friendly Friday after.
oh, it's all okay. It's all good. I just give me 3 things that you love about America, because like as a Canadian, everyone I know talks shit now about America, and I want some hope for the future. So like, what are 3 things that you love about America?
I like as far as constitutions go, I think we have a pretty good constitution. I love the fact that it's so big and diverse both with like people, but also like I can I can fly to the other side of the country and see a totally different ecosystem, and yeah, I look, yeah, we benefit from being very wealthy. We have access to, I mean, anything in the world that anybody can have access to, we have access to. So is that 3? Is that 3?
Yeah, no,
All right.
perfect.
Perfect.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
How about
I just need some cannon fodder here, because like in Canada, we're really hating America, and I want some hope for the future, because everyone just is sad,
Well, DM me. Maybe we can talk about it. Maybe we can figure some stuff out.
Awesome. I
do.
love it. Thank
All
you
right.
guys so much for what you're doing. Keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, you too, bud. We'll see it.
Peace.
All right, Andrew, your turn.
Hey Jay, well, I just wanted to say thank you. I enjoy the show. You are keeping me company as I finish up this picture, and I'm doing all the director. The director sent me like 6 pages of notes the other day, so I am going through his notes, working on the music, and having you on the background is keeping me sane. So
I
appreciate
appreciate that.
that. Thank you.
I appreciate your music.
Um,
You put a video up the other day. It started with like a guitar strum. I was like, hell yeah! And then you started talking. I was like, shit, I wanted the music, but it's all right.
well, I'll probably go live from the gig tonight. It's a cool little bar
Oh,
up
sweet.
in the
I'll check it out.
mountains.
Send it to me when you go live,
Cool.
will you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here I got a joke for you because I know you love the jokes, and then I will give the rest of my time to whoever's next. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
This one's been done. I've never paid a garbanzo bean to pee on me or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Is that
Someone's
what
did
it
it.
is?
Well, my version is Donald Trump has never paid to have a garbanzo bean on his face. A little
Better.
twist, I guess. All
Yeah,
right.
that's better.
Have a good one. Thanks.
Thanks, man. Have a good time at your gig. All right, who's next?
All right. Mama.
Hey, Mama.
Hey everyone, how are you?
Wonderful.
Good. Okay, so I will be super quick. First, Positive Impact was mentioning about like different groups and protests and stuff like that. To give her a little bit of hope, we actually have a protest that happens every Thursday morning on my way to work that I pass, and that group went from like one or two people to now there's like a city block of people. In Phoenix, they do it super early in the morning
In
for the
Phoenix? Yeah,
Times
you'd
Square.
have to, yeah. What part of Phoenix?
Yep, downtown Phoenix on Central.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Uh, Also, I think that you should not have any more debates where either you or Jen do not have control of the guest mic volume because I couldn't hear you, but then they were like swallowing the
That
entire microphones.
that was discussed before and it was not addressed. So that was one of the other
Yeah.
reasons that we aren't going over there anymore. But it was discussed because, well, like what in the like before the show starts, every time I debate, I can hear, like, swear to God, I can hear every breath they take. And if you notice, they're
Yeah, I noticed that. Did I lose you?
Jay, did you mute your mic?
God
Oh,
damn it,
I
Jay.
did. Whoops, my bad.
I had money on
What's
that
the last
shit.
thing you said? What's the last thing you said? I bumped it.
You said
I
you
don't
hear
remember.
every breath.
Oh yeah, it was a dress, but they're there to make money. It's a sport for them, and so they know where their audience is. So they want my mic to be lower and theirs to be louder. So they do it on purpose.
Okay. And then also, so if you are into documentaries, docuseries, you need to watch Katrina Come Hell or High Water on Netflix. It's directed by Spike Lee. Amazing. And it's not sugar coated, which I really like. And then just last thing. So why don't fish play the piano?
I don't know.
Because you can't tune a fish.
Stupid. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Hey, but wait.
Yes.
Why was Cinderella so bad at soccer?
I don't know.
She's always
She kept running
swinging
away
at the
from the ball.
No.
Thought you'd appreciate that one.
Oh,
All right. Have a
yeah.
great weekend, guys.
See ya.
Brother Bob.
Hey, brother Bob.
Hello, I'm
Hey,
here.
good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too. I haven't been able to catch you guys live in a while because I'm working with a partner at work. But anyway, I had to write all this down because every time I come up here, I forget what I want to say and I don't really get to say what I want to say.
Okay.
I sent you a Venmo at the end of your show, near the end of your show today.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of re-summarize it here, or re-say it because you didn't read it yet, or I don't think you did.
Okay.
If you're a union member and you have a union ticket in your pocket and you voted for Trump, go fuck yourself. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters and siblings who did not vote for him and voted for her. I just wanted to say that.
I love that.
Also, to piggyback off of, I think what the person before me or before the person before me said, Are there any MAGA people that are in the debate space that are intelligent enough to have a legitimate debate with you?
No, I don't think it's a lack of intelligence. I just think it comes down to the subject matter. Like Donald Trump is a fucking idiot. And so if you're going to defend Donald Trump, you have to either one, debate like a fucking idiot, or two, just obfuscate all the time. And I think that that's the real problem that we have. I'll say that everybody I've debated on, I've had 3 debates on Raging Tomato. All 3 of those people are intelligent people. But the subject matter is incredibly non-intelligent. So I don't know. I would love to. I thought I thought Steven and I would have a better debate than we did. I was a little disappointed. I am going on like a financial podcast on September 6th where I think we'll debate. It's right-leaning. I'm hoping that's a little bit better. Hopefully we can dive into some economics. I don't think it's intelligence though. I just think that like if you're going to try and defend Donald Trump, you're going to have to defend some pretty stupid shit.
I guess it's hard to debate when it's you can't really defend what you're debating, I guess. But I know my time's up, and I'll leave it with this. I second what Swish said. I love Swish. Shout out to Swish and meow.
Thanks, brother Bob. Always good talking to you. All right, Jen, who's
All
next?
right, Jazzy.
Hey.
Hey, hi, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Hey.
I'm doing great. First point about your debate. Yeah, I guess you're not going to debate those people anymore. That's a good idea. That I couldn't even finish watching it because the guy was giving me a headache screaming. To me, a debate is you bring up a point. Like their point was Trump is better than Harris to be president.
Yeah.
Well, then what the debate is him proving to you why Trump is better and you proving to him why Trump isn't better. And the fact that they mentioned anybody else in that debate, he mentioned anybody else in that debate, is diverting it from what an actual debate is. So I'm grateful that you're not going on anymore. The other point is, do you like to read?
I do audiobooks. Yeah, I do a lot of audiobooks. My eyes get too tired reading.
Okay. I'm going to tell you 2 books I've read in the last couple of years, and I've read a couple of them, both of them more than once. And maybe you have read them. Have you ever read Naomi Klein's Shock Doctrine?
No, somebody else told me to read that last week. I guess I need to. That's 2 recommendations now.
That book you can go chapter by chapter. I don't know if you can download it on audio because it's an old book, but you should be able to. Chapter by chapter, it tells you everything we did in Latin and South America when we were overthrowing their democracies. Mike Flynn is mentioned in there a few times because he was working for the CIA and the military and stuff while that was doing it.
That's interesting.
While that was going on. Very good book. The other one, have you ever read a book called Devil's Chessboard?
I've never even heard of that, no.
Okay, it's by David Talbert.
Okay.
It explains the CIA. I mean, it goes back to the 50s and why JFK threw them out. I think it gives insight into JFK's unaliving, and it's a very good book to understand why we are where we are today when it comes to what's going on. So both of those books are excellent reads. They're both small letters, lots of pages, but you will spend all day reading. And Devil's Chess Book, I know you can get it on audio. I checked it out. And it's free. I don't have audio, but
I'm gonna catch up. We gotta wrap it up.
No, okay, I apologize. I highly suggest you read both those books. It will give you huge insight into a lot of things going on.
I literally just added them both, so I appreciate that. Thanks.
No problem.
Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. Diva.
What's up, Diva?
How are you?
No.
So really quick, because I know we're short on time. Did you see the video of the guy that threw the sub sandwich at the guard?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Maybe, I don't know if Monday you can show it. I was wetting my pants laughing when I saw it. And they were charging him federal, like with federal like charges. But it's funny that they'll pardon the J6ers. But
It's
you
that
throw a
guy.
sandwich at a cop that shouldn't be there, you get federal charges. So I will make sure you have time for somebody else. But I wanted to see if you knew what Cinderella did when she got to Prince Charming's ball.
No, I don't know.
She gagged.
Jesus, of course. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you have a good weekend on that note.
Thanks. You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bowsy.
Hey, Bowsy. Would you say that man was a hero? I would.
Bowsy, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
All right. We'll go on. We got to wrap up soon. I got to get going.
Yeah. No.
Is there anybody else?
Love you. Stop asking.
Hey.
We love you, Jen.
Birthday sucks.
There we go. There we go.
He wants to make sure that Jen knows. Anyway, quick question. What are 2 questions that I can ask the missionaries tonight? I was voluntold to go to a church thing. Anyway, what are 2 questions that I can ask the missionaries to kind of break their shells a little bit?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would ask him why the priesthood ban ended at the same time as BYU being boycotted. See if they know about that.
Okay.
And how old was Joseph Smith's youngest bride? Ask those 2. Ask them about the or just ask them if they've read the CES letter. That's a better. There's people in the audience saying that. Ask them if they've read the CES letter.
Yeah, they immediately shut that nonsense down. Like
See.
That's anti-Mormon, blah blah blah.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, try those other 2.
I did ask them really quick. I was like, why do women only get to go to their daddy through their uncle or whatever? It's like, you can't ask your dad directly, do you love me? You have to say, hey, uncle, does my dad love me? And that's the access the women have is only through the men. And that made them uncomfortable. So,
Well,
so
just keep making them uncomfortable. Be all right.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, dude.
Hey, handsome.
What's up?
Hey.
So, I too have never had a garbanzo bean on my face. Just saying. And 2, I actually have a serious thing this time. Like no small talk.
Okay.
Like you're in Arizona, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Duh, I don't know that. So, like, what's there to do like at night there? Is it like a cool nightlife?
It depends on what you like to do. Yeah, I mean, if you like going out, Scottsdale's good. Actually, out in Glendale's kind of cool now. They have a good bar scene there. If you're younger, you want to go to like Mill Avenue, downtown Phoenix is all right. All of these places are places you will not find me. But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
There's casinos. A lot of people like going out to Talking Stick.
Oh, gambling. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So I enjoyed this small talk.
I hate you.
You enjoyed it as I did.
I hate you. I don't like you at all.
No, I did yesterday. I finally got around to listening to your Raging Tomatoes thing. Well, I fell asleep listening to it, and that was like a masterclass with the little signs. That was awesome. I was fucking dying, dude. I was just sitting there on the couch watching it last night. My lady said, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Nothing. Forget it. You wouldn't understand."
Yeah.
But that was awesome, and like, in knowing that, like, the precursor and still doing it is amazing to me. How you could present them with like the stupid shit, and they're still gonna do the stupid shit.
It's what happens if you're defending Donald Trump. You're gonna struggle. There's just not a good way to defend him. There's too much information that people are gonna be able to throw at you. It's impossible. I would never want to be on the side of having to defend Donald Trump. Your only option is really to deflect from it.
Yeah, and they do. They're really good at it. Give him that.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, have a good weekend.
You too,
I'm
dude.
gonna get to work.
All
See you,
right.
dude.
See you, bud. All right, Jen. Did I miss any Venmos? Is there any? I have one from Jen. Jen Batch says, thanks for another great week. Thanks, Jen and mods. Agreed. I'm beat.
I think we got them all.
And then Amy. Amy? No, it was Adam said, highly recommend Overthrow by Stephen Kinzer. Details all the coups since Hawaii through Iraq. All right, I got 3 books to read this weekend. See what I can get through.
Did you read? I thought you read. Did you read Sully's joke?
I think so. I think so. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I think I read it just to myself. Was that to you? Is it in our
Oh.
DMs?
Yeah, it's in our DMs.
Why don't you just read it?
All right. How many Republicans does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know.
Change? That's socialism.
That is socialism. All right, everybody. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, mods. We'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. to 1 Pacific Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching currently. You can catch the replay of this episode and any other episode on YouTube or on Spotify. If you want to invite to the Discord, send a message to any of our moderators. If you'd like to join our paid subscription program, I've got an event, like I said, September 6th. And then hopefully I have another event to announce on Monday or Tuesday. I'll get back to you guys on those. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for all your support. It was another great week. I am my brain is shot. I don't know if any of you could tell. I'm looking forward to a couple days off. I look forward to not hearing from anybody and listening to audiobooks all weekend. Take care of yourselves. Drink some water. Say something nice about yourself. Stay cute and cool, and have a great summer.